Welcome back to the Pro League Finals of Season 10! What fun we are having, and with some incredible matches of Siege to boot as well. We have our first grand finalist, that is Dark Zero. Now we need to find out who they're going to play for this title of being the new Pro League champion. And it could be an all-NA final. I don't think many people would have dared predict that. Or it could be the #1 of NA, Dark Zero, against the #1 of EU. Either way, an amazing final. Let's figure out who it's going to be, and let's start off by meeting the Americans who want to be there.
We feel really good. I mean, we're super confident coming here. We've had our, our ups and downs, kind of slow paces, kind of falling behind, then jumping back into it. But we've really become more disciplined throughout the half of the split of the season, and coming into this and qualifying, I mean, we're definitely more than ready for it, for sure. We definitely been grinding pretty hard to prepare for this event and changing some strats and getting things ready definitely for the teams here. Our goal for this event is to definitely dominate this event and then carry this over into the next events for the future of Rainbow. It's definitely North America's event this season, so we're gonna come here, we're gonna do what we gotta do, and we're gonna come out on top.
They said it's North America's season. Can they join their North American compatriots in the final? It's Team Reciprocity! Team Reciprocity! And if they want to fight the #1 in NA for the title, they have to beat the #1 of EU.
I'd say we're very excited to just play. It's we've worked very hard. We just want to sort of play and show what we're made of. Just enjoy it while we're doing it. We prepared for this event by working with our analyst Jack and our coach Gig, just looking into how the teams play, looking at their strats, looking at just going into depth, making sure we're prepared for each team and whoever we play. I feel very confident going into this event. I feel like we can win the whole thing. We've never played any of the teams here, but I feel like we're prepared enough to be successful. My goal for this tournament is to win. Anything else is a failure for me.
The new champions of Europe, they want to be champions of all of Season 10. They are Na'Vi! Confident and ready, Na'Vi! There is a lot of confidence on this stage. There is this beautiful trophy and this title they both want so badly. Within touching reach, you've got to get to the final to try and take it all. Good luck, Na'Vi! Good luck, Team Reciprocity!
Yes, here we are, the classic NA versus EU, and we haven't even hit the grand final. Hey, who knows? Maybe we'll have a repeat, or for the first time in ages, North America will be the only representative still left the grand final. This match will decide it all between Reciprocity and Na'Vi. Reciprocity, #2 team coming in their seeding from North America, and Na'Vi, #1, beating out Giants. G2 aren't here, Empire aren't here. Gentlemen, we talked about the rags to riches story. Please, let's just scream it and yell it one more time for the few still in the back that don't know the stakes that Na'Vi are playing with here. Alex, go ahead.
I mean, it's successful for them no matter what happens, because so far they've done exactly what we saw Empire do, where they get to Challenge League, they get to EU Pro League, they dominate that, and now they're here. So, I mean, we've seen it before. There's a decent chance that they go to take everything, right?
There's just, you can't play Oregon anymore, so at least the white stairs won't be a problem.
With Na'Vi, we didn't really see them at all before 2018 last year. They kind of didn't really have a showing at all. We finally saw them start to make some impact in the UK scene with the UK Premiership. They eventually became the champions, overtaking Team Secret, which was a huge deal for them. Back then they were known as M&M Gaming. Just this year in June, as soon as they came first in Challenge League, got that spot in the Pro League, they got picked up by one of the biggest and most well-renowned esports organizations in the world. It is absolutely 0 to hero, nothing to UK champion, to Challenger League champion, to European Pro League champion. There's only one next step that I see as a possibility here. Come on, have I got to say it? Imagine a situation where we have 2 seasons in a row where 2 different European Challenger League champions become the first team in the Pro League.
Look, not even that. Empire won Raleigh. They won the major. So on top of all of their successes throughout the years, they made it to 6 Invitational Grand Final. It's their first showing. They had just qualified to CL. They played through the season. They win Pro League Finals in Milan. Then they go and dominate in Raleigh, play the Grand Final against G2 and win it out. They're not here today, but Na'Vi definitely are trying to pick up.
If we are trying to compare them, we got to remember that through that whole thing, Empire never really showed any emotion until they were at the finals. Talking to Na'Vi yesterday, they're not hiding it. They were terrified on Cafe. They haven't been performing super well the last couple of Cafes. And going into that, they were afraid of taking gunfights. They're afraid of peeking. And they're very humble about the fact that that map is not what they wanted to show.
No.
Then they somehow found the courage to stop playing the way that people in EU are afraid of them, which is challenge everything, peek everything, move, be annoying players. Get in the way.
And something that Na'Vi do have going for them is they practice, they scrim, they play their Pro League in the most competitive Rainbow Six region that we have to offer. Their last 3 Pro League play days, they defeated G2. Next week, they defeated Empire, and then their final week, they defeated Chaos. A really, really strong end to the season for a well-deserved first place in the European Pro League, but they did stumble a little bit against Wildcard. We can't really blame them too much for that. It was a close game, but we haven't seen Citizen turn up on LAN just in the same way that he did online.
Let's talk about Na'Vi's opponent's roster, for example. Reciprocity, we'll put them up on the camera here, and we'll go through them again. Laxing, Foxy, Skies, Mark, and Retro. They're here. They're trying to play the best they can. Yesterday, you know, jet lag is an issue. It happens. Sometimes you're really, I mean, yeah, you have to at least hand them something. You know, you come in, it's exhausting, fair enough. You come in, you're playing against a team that has 2 subs, a completely different thing that you prepared the entire time. Completely fair. Showing was weak. Yeah, given the circumstances, I can let it slide. But now, this is the game, and you're gonna fight against such a big opponent, Na'Vi. This is where you back up all the talk.
I mean, they all have a positive rating. It wasn't that the game yesterday was just not the game that they wanted to play either. Yeah. Without a doubt, they would rather play against a full Na'Vi roster, or sorry, a full NIP roster. But this game is like, it's gonna be different because now we have 2 really aggressive teams. They both have a full lineup. I mean, there was time to sleep now, and they should both be ready.
Reciprocity did say yesterday that that was a bit of an opportunity to save some strategies. They don't have to go too hard against NIP to save it all for Na'Vi, but they really do have to put their money where their mouth is now. And let's not forget that this is not an enviable position for Reciprocity. Coming into this tournament, as you said, they want to earn the commendation of defeating Ninjas in Pajamas, the #1 team out of Latin America, at their full strength. And they didn't, even though they won that match, we're still not able to give them that full credit. And that's not a great spot to be in. They really have to show up here to prove themselves.
Of course, they have to show up against Na'Vi. Here's the roster: Pi, Citizen, Kendrew, Nello, and Saves. As you said, Alex, these guys, they were not shy about the fact that they really messed up on the first map. It got really close against Wildcard. 7-4 victory for Wildcard in that map specifically. Then it went to Coastline. Things really ramped up for Na'Vi. They felt much better. Nello, even though we don't get to talk about him even in the online phase of Pro League, because there's just so much happening with Na'Vi, especially online. Now here we're seeing what the advantage of having this like calm, considerate player on your team allows you to have, with sort of flexibility. And I want to liken him, after having had a conversation with him, he reminds me a lot of Shate. Very similar, respectful, humble attitude, very ready, always a beast in game, but always ready to talk to you about the intricacies and calming his teammates to make sure that they make it far into the game.
I bet you he's the one that screams the loudest when he clutches though. They always are. It's always the chill ones.
Na'Vi are on paper the favorites here, right? First team out of EU is usually the team that takes the entire event, right? But that said, coming into this event, Na'Vi, they don't have very much international experience. EU is a great region to practice in, but that said, practicing against Latin America, North America, APAC is really good for getting a versatile playstyle and being able to counter. Now, the only time they've played North America in the past was against Rogue, and they didn't even win a map. That was at DreamHack Valencia earlier this year. So unfortunately for them, they do have a lot to learn. Going up against another North American team, they'll have to step it up.
All right, map vetoes, ladies and gentlemen. We want to get the show on the road ASAP. So again, best of 3 series here, and it means that we have two bands, 2 picks, 2 bands, and then of course our decider in our 7-map pool, the official competitive map pool. Bank, border remove first. Consulate will be Na'Vi's first pick. Villa for Reciprocity, that is actually pretty sweet. And then Clubhouse as their decider. Honestly, this map ban looks to give us a super tight game between the two.
But this still looks like they're following what they've been doing most of the, well, actually the past 6 months, because we got
online, yeah.
Bank is the most banned map by Na'Vi, and Border's one of the most banned maps by Reciprocity. Na'Vi throwing away CAF is probably a pretty good idea. Just off yesterday's performance, let's maybe wait with that one for a bit. And
yeah, after the match against Wildcard, I saw them in the hallway and said, guys, you know, what happened on Cafe? We thought that was a really good map. And they said, no, recently playing Cafe, we haven't been feeling it. Of course, we don't get to see a lot of their scrim results, and sometimes teams learn a lot in scrims about how comfortable they feel on maps that we don't know, we can't know, that's private information. But I definitely think that this is a fairly standard map veto, and hopefully we'll get through it and go all 3.
Your thoughts on scorelines for this first map, Alex?
I don't know about scorelines, but I think we're going to see 3 maps, but 3 fast maps.
Okay, James?
I want to say Na'Vi is definitely my favorite team. At the same time, Reciprocity, the onus is on them to prove the naysayers wrong, and I think that this is the perfect opportunity to do that.
All right, thank you very much, gentlemen, for your input. It's time to get this game on the road. Semi-final number 2, it's Na'Vi versus Reciprocity, EU versus NA. Hajime!
Thank you very much, Kassan. Welcome in, ladies and gentlemen, watching back home and around the world to Tokoname. We have a grand finalist. It's a North American grand finalist for the 2nd straight season. We'll be getting an all-NA final, or we have an EU challenger to approach. Reciprocity versus Na'Vi begins now. It begins on Consulate. Sam, yesterday, we saw a rec game against a fractured NIP team. There were a lot of comments after the game about our opinions about Reciprocity, but nonetheless, I think they ring true, honestly. Reciprocity looked shaky yesterday. Let's see if they've changed things up today, especially going up against a Na'Vi team that did not look like they were on their best performance yesterday either.
I feel like this is a put up or shut up moment. I mean, for God's sake, you're going right back to Consulate. You look at the map bans from Team Reciprocity overall, and every single one of these maps is not a map that you look at Reciprocity and go, okay, they're fluent on this. No, it's a lot of bans, it's a lot of losses, which telegraphs to everyone at home that they have been working on these maps. These have been something that they've had on the back burner for a while, and they were just waiting to pull them to the front when they needed them. So this could be a lot tighter contention than Alex thinks that it could be with these map bans.
Well, we got map bans out of the way. Let's focus on some operator bands. We're going to lose a Capitao, a Nomad, a Valkyrie, and a Maestro. So some more unorthodox bands, I'd say, in terms of the operators. The Capitao and the Nomad both in play yesterday on console when Reciprocity played against the Ninjas in Pajamas. And both of them extremely powerful. The Valkyrie as well was a constant ban yesterday, and the Maestro instead of the Echo. So we still have Echo up and we still have Mira up. Saw a little bit Mira more than usual on Consulate these days, even downstairs towards Teller's Archives bomb site or to the basement. Speaking of Teller's Archives, that is where we will be starting things off. Na'Vi on the defense, Reciprocity on the attack, and Na'Vi not backing down, not shying away from playing some creative initiatives on their strategies. We're starting on the 4th bomb site that has only existed for a little over a year now.
It's a very creative site. There's a myriad of different ways you can hold it. Some people prioritize top, some prioritize bottom, but we've seen it held a bunch of different ways. The traditional way, put nitro cells downstairs, give yourself vision inside of the Teller's site, and then try and blow anybody up that puts the diffuser down. You might want to show some face upstairs to delay some time, but that's at your own leisure. We are going to have a castle set up from Na'Vi, though, as we see Nello donning that.
Yeah. Going to be reinforcing the closet hatch as well to limit quick movement downstairs. And this setup as well, we've seen Dark Zero already implement the Teller's Archives bomb site as one of their primaries, honestly. We saw them avoid the top 4 like the plague yesterday against FaZe. Today they did not play Consulate, but yesterday we saw a lot of Dark Zero's implementations of these quick rotations in and out of Tellers. And like you said, playing a lot of nitro cells down below, between 4 and... well, honestly, maybe 5, if you really want to play it. Not as many coming out from Na'Vi this time around. I only count 2 possibilities between the Mozzie and the Mute. For Reciprocity here, again, we saw them very slow on Consulate yesterday against NIP, just unwilling to challenge, waiting for NIP to make the first mistake. Against Na'Vi, a team that also seemed a little more timid than usual, this could be a slower start to a game when we're expecting high tempo.
Well, the real question is for Reciprocity is, are they going to go back to what we assumed that, you know, their playstyle was going to be coming into LAN, that high-tempo gameplay like you were talking about? Are they going to try and stay more structured? It didn't feel like the structured gameplay really fit them at all. It was very slow-paced. They really didn't go down the checklist quickly. It really felt like old Vitality. We get down to 15 seconds. Okay, guys, we have something to do. You throw yourselves at the wall, and it doesn't stick.
So entry in here from Mark into the console office, looking into the connector wall, all the way to the top of the Visa stairs, and that's where Kendrew is. And honestly, incredible individual performances yesterday from everyone on the side of Na'Vi against Wildcard yesterday. A remarkable match to witness and a pleasure to cast. A flank coming from Citizen up the yellow stairs will be droned out swiftly here, but Citizen not backing down. Willing to take that first engagement against Mark as he's now joined by the Thermite now of Retro in behind with Diffuser, but Citizen will take down Mark as he tries to exit console. 2 more drones will perish as well. The Citizen will rotate down for free, and Retro obviously carrying that Diffuser and being one of the hard breachers, not looking to re-engage, and because of that, Citizen allowed to escape and pick up 2 on the round onto Foxe.
There's a reason 6 of the talents that across the entire world picked this man as their MVP for the entire season going into this LAN. And for moments like this, he's able to make wine out of water. It's truly impressive what he's able to achieve on his own, destroying drone economy as well as getting kills. Kendrew adding on to the pile, and this is already looking like a flawless round.
2 members remaining. It's the 2 hard breachers. Sky's taking damage, but will at least trade out 1 onto Kendrew downstairs in the basement. Remaining attackers separated here for Reciprocity as Retro is the man carrying the diffuser as Skies pushes his way down the yellow stairs at the vending machine at about 23 or so HP. Still has Nello upstairs, and Nello with that 1v4 yesterday on the gridlock for the ace. That was quite the highlight reel play, and we're looking to see more of that today from Na'Vi. Those highlight reel plays were really difference makers against Wildcard. This has been a pretty standard round, and a slower round at that. The entries so far for Reciprocity not falling in a line like they would have planned. There goes Pi taking down Retro, so it's Skies alone in the 1v4 as he turns the corner. He'll be shut down. 3 on the round for Citizen, and Na'Vi start things off well-paced.
And that's just a fantastic round from Na'Vi. That setup especially, I like how they layered things and then kept Citizen over near Piano for the late flank. He didn't get droned out on that middle level, so he's allowed to come up yellow, bag a free kill, and a couple drones for his leisure. They tried to chase him down, but he's able to continue on winning these ones. And that's something that we were talking about yesterday inside of the Na'Vi game. You don't want to give these guys those one-on-one gunfights. You want to try and trade them out. Otherwise, you're just going to allow them to continue to man up on man advantage, and then you have rounds like this.
Honestly, beautiful shutdown across the map there, and Citizen With this Nomad ban, honestly, I'm not surprised that he had so much luxury to rotate with ease and no one really cutting him off. A Jackal would probably be a smart operator for Reciprocity to want to bring out here, try and lock him down, because we saw Citizen yesterday against Wildcard on an island a lot of the time. He's alone, but he makes those swift, silky plays where he rotates constantly around the map. He's never in one place for more than about 20 seconds or so, and it's so hard to lock him down without any kind of intel. You can see him ripping through the drone economy on that round from Reciprocity as well. If you cannot gather intel on Citizen, he will be a dagger in your back. So for Na'Vi, keep Citizen up. He's gone to the dock now instead of the Jaeger as we head towards the lobby defense.
I mean, you have so many options for that as well. You can also go with the Gridlock, a brand new staple to Team Rainbow that's great on being able to hold down those flanks with those track stingers. We actually saw Nella with a fantastic clip with her yesterday, but it didn't really have to do with her utility, just his pure fragging ability. But her utility especially is so good at shutting down those late flanks, and it could definitely throw a thorn into the side of Citizen if he tries to go for that late roam again.
So for Reciprocity, bit of a split here. We've got 3 members from Reciprocity all stacked towards the admin side for a lobby take. We still got Laxing outside over towards the console windows. A Nitrocell goes soaring, but somehow will not claim the life of Skies, as that was almost a precarious situation in consecutive opening deaths. Retro in the process, though, will take some damage, down to about 60 HP. Waiting for the entry, it'll be Pi and Kendrew to lock down the admin push, playing by the vending machines. They do have a 3rd man on the far side over by console to support as well. I imagine with a rotate through yellow stairs to the bathroom. This is a good hold here for Na'Vi, and for Reciprocity, it's about pushing through with power. It's about being the instigator, being the driving force on a round. Yesterday we saw a lot of timidness from Reciprocity, and they got to change that up if they're going to win today.
Yeah, you are attacking. Attack, that's what you have to do. And Reciprocity, as you said, with a very slow-paced game, but Sky is going to start us off now. Pre-fires into a regular position inside of the front kitchen there and is able to claim Kendrew, but those pests will still remain, so he can still possibly steal some drones and really do some harm to that drone economy. But Reciprocity finally making good time. Again, some damage onto Retro, but they have what they need in order to go for this top clear. You have copy as well as you have short desk.
Yeah, there's a bit of a sly player there, an attempt from Kendrew. Citizen, though, will take down Laxing downstairs. So again, the split push here being picked apart a little bit. Retro's alone out towards the projector balcony on the rappel. That's where he's taken the majority of his damage. That was Laxing alone downstairs trying to go for a flank hold, and flank hold does not get held. Citizen will be able to, again, be able to escape. Drones along desk with the breach hole open. Nearly a team kill coming out there from Reciprocity. A little over 60 seconds left in the round. Here comes Citizen up the spiral stairs, taking aim in towards the copy hallway and by the secretary desk. Drone on Pi, knowing that he's going for the swing, but instead he'll dart on back in behind his table and keep his safety position. Time very low here for Reciprocity with not a lot of movement.
This is a hell of a lot of stall when the site's all the way downstairs. I mean, they're going to get the kill onto Pi, but look at the timer. Only 40 seconds remain, and they're inside a lobby. They have this top control, but they still have to worry about Citizen, as well as they have man advantage. With that top control, they're going to be able to more than likely get a diffuser down inside of lobby, but you still have to worry about the toxic babes of saves. Nello's already rotated across as well. I don't exactly know where he's sitting. It looks like he's sitting downstairs, I do believe, but when you're just staring at a wall, no, he's actually inside a connector all the way upstairs, so they don't have all of top control. Only 15 seconds remain. Retro has to go in and try and stick this diffuser. One more toxic babe in hand, and that will displace him for another 10 seconds. So that's all the way down to 0-0. They still have yokais as well, and this is more than likely going to be all that she wrote, unless they can possibly get some utility down, and that's going to be it. Double yokai and good utility usage from Na'Vi.
No IQ on the board to spot out the Echo, and no one really with time there to be able to come back in and shoot the Echo drone. Just playing time management beautifully there for Na'Vi. Even playing with a massive man disadvantage near the end there. A 4v2 advantage for Reciprocity, trying to get that plant down inside a lobby. It was good coverage from outside the front door. But again, those yokai drones, 99% invisible up on the ceiling directly above where Retro was trying to plant. So again, Reciprocity slow on time control. Seems to be a problem that's carrying over from yesterday. Got a lot of new operators coming out on the side of Na'Vi as we head downstairs. So this is very similar to what we were seeing from Dark Zero yesterday against FaZe on Consulate, which was, we will defend every bomb site on Consulate, except for the top floor, which is one of the most common bomb sites. We barely saw lobby defenses yesterday between Reciprocity and NIP, and yet we're going to be losing the majority bomb site that we saw yesterday in that final game. At least on the side of Na'Vi, they don't really feel like playing it.
Yeah, there is no tertiary site for Na'Vi. They'll play it all except for upstairs, which is the weird thing, as you were saying. But honestly, I think that they're just so good at tellers that they really don't need console site at all. I mean, they set up upstairs for that site like they're going to be playing up there, like if they would be playing that site. So obviously they understand how to play the site upstairs properly. They just choose not to because they don't feel like it's a very strong site on this map. Now, on the other side of the coin, Reciprocity needs to pick up this pace. I mean, these operators have been in the game for so long to be able to delay time. When you get under that minute time and you're not focusing on site, you're in very, very treacherous waters. I mean, take Bank, for instance, downstairs. If you don't have the wall open at a minute 20, then what are you going to do? There's so much utility to burn through.
Well, I'll be interested to see how Reciprocity handle this. We have a mirror window on a garage wall with a soft panel to the left with Nello actively playing it.
Oh,
okay.
Haven't seen that for a while.
No, Na'Vi wins 67% of the time when they play Echo on Consulate compared to 45% overall of their defensive rounds. So they like playing with Echo. It's good to know, and it's good to understand the bands a little bit deeper there. Thank you for the stats there, Spleck. So there goes Mark, and Ash opened the soft panel on the right-hand side of that mirror, but they still have the mirror window up. The Kite Electroclaw, some ADSs. It's good adaptation here from Skies to go onto the IQ, being wary of that Echo, but the IQ electronic sensor will also be able to spot those Electroclaws through the floor, as long as they can get some piano control, and it doesn't look like Na'Vi are sending much of a roam towards lobby. As I say, that Citizen will rotate in, the slippery guy he is.
Again, you always have to worry about him. Citizen really is like the EU version of Laxton. He goes for these deep roams, he goes for rotates on offense. You really can't put a peg on his location at any given time because you really just don't know unless you have a drone on him or something in order to give yourself that info. Oh, they're gonna impact trick through the drone hole. This is so intelligent. That's gonna burn both of them. Retro doesn't have any more X-Kairos, no Habana on the field, no Maverick. Reciprocity is dead in the water.
No hard breach left. The good news is, I mean, there's an open panel that you ashed open. So, I mean, you get rid of this mirror window from above and you've got a possibility to enter in. You just won't be able to open up the left-hand side. So that means that Pipes control is going to be hard to clear out here for the attacking side of Reciprocity. Still accomplish that goal with Foxe upstairs or Mark with the breaching rounds. Again, it's going to be difficult. And I don't think Citizen has been spotted here, as I imagine he'd get the hell out of Dodge if he had been. This mirror window still standing again, causing a lot of headaches for Reciprocity to try and contend with. Barely any damage done, honestly. The only damage is about 10 HP onto Retro through that impact tricking that was going through the drone hole. Reciprocity, we saw this yesterday as well, waiting until about the last 20 seconds to try and bail in through the garage, but Nello is going to try to hold them at the gates. There goes Citizen for the opener onto Foxe. All the drones being repelled, and once again, this should be a stronghold for Nello up against the garage wall.
Fantastic play by Citizen to be able to maintain vertical control here, not allowing piano control at all to Fox. And again, that was just missed droning. They focused all their drones in sight, and it bagged them nothing. There was no real gain here, all except for an Ash charge onto a breach. It's going to be a quick shot. Nello's going to take down Mark, and all of a sudden we're up 5-3 in favor of Na'Vi. Another quick shot for Citizen is apparently they think that he just left. Nello tacks on, and this looks like we might have the first flawless unless Laxian has something to say about it. But he's going to have a lot to say about it in about 8 seconds. Rotates over towards Kitchen, punches the barricade, but more than likely just going to let the time waste out after he pre-fires through, pads the Siege GG, and that's going to be 3 in a row for Na'Vi.
Well, Na'Vi complete the clean sweep on the defensive bomb sites all the way through. We start off with Teller's Archives, we head to lobby, and we go back downstairs. So a tactical timeout, understandable here for Team Reciprocity, as the game is starting to get away from them a little bit. That being said, though, Na'Vi also let things slip away from their hands very early on against Wildcard, and were able to bring things back quite interestingly, most notably with a 7-1 win on Coastline on map number 2 yesterday. So by no means is 3 rounds a death sentence here for Reciprocity. It just got to regroup a little bit.
No, not at all. And we've seen Reciprocity be able to string things together before. They're a very emotional squad, and when, you know, the tide is with them, they're fantastic. The issue is when the tide is against them, it seems like there's a lot of clashing that goes on. So this needs to be constructive with this timeout. Hey, let's play our game. This structured gameplay for us, it's not us, man. Let's just move on. Let's play our game. Let's be crazy. Let's just do it. Why not? We flew all the way to Japan. It's a 16-hour flight home, Flynn. I don't think you flew all this way just to blow it on a different play style.
Well, for Reciprocity, the timeout will wind down in just a few short moments here. Hope's trying to gather the team and make sure that everyone is on the same page. We can see honestly, bunch of different operators coming out right now for Team Reciprocity. You guys back home can't see them, but we've got a bunch of different options being picked here by many of the members as we resume.
It's part of the script. We just already know what's going to be happening. Sorry, guys. Hate to spoil it. Esports is all a lie. It's like the WWE. Anyways, moving on, though. Na'Vi so far have done a fantastic job of being able to keep pace with Reciprocity and the playstyle that they're imbuing this game with so far. What I mean by that is that Na'Vi is not getting overly aggressive. That's what Reciprocity wants. They want them to try and challenge to the outside of the building and then just get frags off of that by them over-peaking. And they're not doing that. They're going, okay, if you're going to play slow, we can do that too. We'll just play for late roams and things along those lines. Citizen's doing a fantastic job of that as well. Not getting overly aggressive. I mean, he just sat in closet upstairs in lobby, waiting for someone to motion in to gain that vertical pressure inside of Piano. And that is a hot spot for people to come through. He didn't need to go find them. He knew where they were going to go to. They're going to go to the honeypot for that site.
Well, in stark contrast to their potential grand finalist counterparts, Na'Vi not going to be fully employing the screw top floor strategy as we're finally going to get a defense here. So all 4 bomb sites will be played here by Na'Vi in a row, as they've already won 3 of the 4. They could make it a clean sweep here again. They've already gone through a pretty standard half rotation. I do like the operator swap-ups here for Reciprocity, though, bringing a Dokubi to attempt the roam clear. We did see a Jackal there. Well, you and I did, Sam, but the viewers back home did not, unfortunately, as it was during the timeout. Saw a Jackal there, and then they swap back off of it. I would like to see a Jackal, honestly. Yes, the Dokubi has looked really good in someone like Ace's hands. However, the Jackal is just so easy. It's point and click. Yeah, and track your person. You know exactly where they are. You don't have to play off sound cues, maybe going through floorboards or anything like that. You got much better weaponry. It's just a much more common operator to be played, and it fits the Reciprocity playstyle a lot better to get into Citizen's face. Make sure you shut him down with some tempo.
Yeah, even with his recent nerf, he's still such a fantastic operator, having soft destruction, smoke grenades, and a fantastic rifle. One of the best rifles in the entire game, Flynn. I mean, the C7E is such a fantastic weapon, but Reciprocity going over the Dokubi, which again, not a bad pick, more than likely going to be rocking the C75. No one has really been playing with the SMG-12 as of late. And actually, no, Mark's going to prove me wrong. He's going to be rocking that SMG-12. Uh-oh. Can he get him? Oh, it's going to be a hard wall. Oh, no, wait, no, he did light him up. Nello's going to take quite a bit of HP, but apparently 4 bullets to the arm doesn't kill somebody.
Well, he's a 3 armor. He's a chunky boy. He can take a few of those through a wall and through a window at range. So Nello spotted there on his cams downstairs. Actually, I think it was over towards Copy inside a break room there. Foxay is going to go for honestly an ambitious swing into the yellow stairs there. Citizen's going to take a lot of damage in the process, but he will acquire the opening pick onto Foxay. Good news is for Reciprocity, they've done a lot of damage to both Nello and Citizen now on attempting the entries. But again, deceptively quick round. The clock continues to tick away against Team Reciprocity on these rounds. On the attacking side, we now stand with 61 seconds, looking to burn down for Na'Vi.
Skies actually is going to follow suit with how Foxay was quickly dispatched. Swings in through yellow, but no challenge from Citizen this time around. Citizen and Nello both on quite low HP, but still 5 remain up on Na'Vi's side. No Doc to help out, obviously, as you guys can see at the top of your screen. Oh, might have a nice headshot here with the pistol. My! Oh my! The 44 mag might have a lot of recoil, but when you only need 1 bullet, it doesn't have that much. Spray through the wall for Skies, but only does a little bit of damage to Pi in the process. Launches an Electro Claw down, and what an intelligent way to use those Electric Claws to keep all of the reinforcements in place inside of Connector.
Going for the bullet hole peek once again with the 44 auto mag, but now pull out the AUG, and as he goes for the weapon swap, he'll be cut down by Mark with that Mark 14, hitting the deck though underneath the default camera, taking a lot of damage, and look at the health on Reciprocity. Laxing has now been down to the top of the yellow stairs, trying to push through. The remaining members for Reciprocity pushing into the bomb site, but it's a clean sweep for Na'Vi. It's 4 in a row. Perfect on every bomb site so far for Na'Vi.
Na'Vi used Citizen. It's super effective. That's just how it's going so far. Citizen's allowed to do whatever he wants to do, Flynn, and they can't shut him down. And then you have insane one-taps with people like Pi when they even try and challenge towards site. I mean, the default's not working. They try and shift across to go for a yellow take. I just don't know what's in the cards for Reciprocity at this point. They've already burned their tactical timeout. It seems by the operator lineup that they're now bringing, again, you guys can't see it just yet, but it seems like, oh, never mind, that's going to be 6-pick, and we're going to finally get the Jackal. It was a Twitch, but now we have switched over. Fox still going to be on the Sledge, and most importantly, Lax still going to be on the Thatcher, which something inside of their playstyle, I'm not the biggest fan of him being on the Thatcher. I like to see him on IQ. I like to see him on these 3-speed ops where he can just run rampant across the entire map. Thatcher doesn't really give you that freedom because you have to rotate back to your team with those EMPs to make use of them.
Well, for Na'Vi here, you got to be feeling pretty good considering the poor start Na'Vi got off to yesterday against Wildcard, losing, honestly, a lot of rounds on the attacking side of Cafe. We did say it's Cafe, but also Clubhouse went a very peculiar way as well for the map number 3 against Wildcard. And honestly, inches away from losing that game and allowing 2 APAC teams to make it to the semifinals. Like we said, those guys will 6-pick off of the Twitch onto the Jackal. Mark sticking with the Dokkaebi there. Did acquire a kill with the Mark 14, but the phone calls, again, the idea for taking the Dokkaebi is rooted in clearing the roam from Citizen. They didn't do that. They sat on a lot of repels there for the majority of the round there. And again, trying to ignore the roam, which is a strategy that has worked out for Team Reciprocity in the past, but they gotta, again, pick up the pace here. They're wasting a lot of time on these attacking rounds, waiting for someone to make a mistake. And Na'Vi right now on the precipice of being in the grand finals, not looking to make too many mistakes, but Citizen will finally be cut down here by Mark. The roam clear, inadvertently, will be successful here for Reciprocity.
Well, appears that 5th time is the charm. Let's see if they can make good on it, though. They need to be able to find a round here. This is where it starts. You've knocked away the man that's been such a detriment to your squad so far. First Logic Bomb coming in for Mark. He hears some sound, so he's going to pre-fire in through Connector, but Kendrew has already left the space for safer pastures. Skies finds some footmarks downstairs. They could possibly Inox track, but I believe it might be Citizen. That's why he hasn't confirmed them just yet. Reciprocity still on that easy-going boat ride instead of, well, anything faster, which for this round, not too bad. You still have plenty of time on the board. I just want Reciprocity to pick up the pace just a little bit. That's something that they're so known for. And for such a long time, Flynn, you and I have talked about how Na'Vi just looks like a newer version of Reciprocity. But Reciprocity isn't playing like Reciprocity against Na'Vi. It's just really throwing me off, to be completely honest with you.
There's a sign on the path we take to walk back to the hotel that says high-speed boat. I want Reciprocity to be the high-speed boat right now. And
high-speed boat was gone last night.
It was gone.
Maybe that's why Reciprocity isn't being the high-speed boat. The high-speed boat wasn't there.
My question is, what's the conversion here? As Kendrew through a bullet hole will take down Retro. That's your man with your diffuser. The Hard Breacher not as necessary for a Teller's Archives take, because that is the bomb site. But again, my question is the conversion here for Reciprocity. Where are you trying to plant? Are you trying to converge downstairs to the basement, or are you going to try and tango with the Nitro cells that'll be flirting across the floorboards? It's a 4v4 here with less than a minute remaining, as Nello's phone will ring out inside a copy hallway, alerting now Foxe as he pushes in through the top of Spiral Stairs in tandem with Laxing. It's a good push here up top through the long desk, but again, Reciprocity taking their time, taking their caution. All Nello has to do is hold the rotation. He'll do a little bit of damage there to Mark. The pre-fires, that UMP is not your strongest weapon to take. Now they'll rotate over towards the secondary desk. Angle, and Kendrew in the midst of a reload does not get his head taken off. Skies will take down Pi, but now downing off Mark will be Kendrew. Nice shots there through the soft walls inside of admin by Foxe. They do have to recover the diffuser. Foxe and Mark now, ooh, almost a one-tap there for saves. Now rotating down the Visa stairs, being collapsed upon by 2. Oh no, the crossfire there as Laxing will pick up Mark and pick up the kill. It's all saves alone now in the 1v4, being shot to the smoke, and there goes Reciprocity, picking up their first round. Skies in the PDW, empties all 50 rounds through the smoke to collect the last one.
All right, Rec, you got one on the board, but now you need to link them together. This cannot be, hey, we finally got the tires back on the car, you start it, and it all falls apart again. Because if you do have that, Natus Vincere can obviously put 3 together quickly, and all of a sudden, you're 7-1 on the first map, and that is not a way you want to start your semifinal.
Na'Vi still well in control of this game, and it looked like Na'Vi as well, debating where they wanted to go for the defense. Initially selecting Lobby, and then ultimately deciding on Cafeteria and Garage into the 6-pick phase. The Skies will be going off the IQ over to a Zofia, as Nello will 6-pick off a Kaid onto an Echo. A good round there for Reciprocity. It came down to the wire once again, but that opener onto Citizen, really the difference maker. If you're able to pick up that opener, if Citizen isn't able to run around and do a lot of damage, we saw this from Wildcard as well. On Clubhouse specifically, 3 rounds in a row when Citizen tried to make those quick entries into the bomb site round after round after round on Clubhouse. Yesterday, he was unsuccessful, and most of Na'Vi was unsuccessful in those rounds. And it's not like the entire team of Na'Vi is Citizen, but he is a big game changer on these rounds, and his elusiveness is something that Team Reciprocity will have to deal with throughout this entire series. Like you said, they're 1 for 5 on quelling it right now. The basement defense also caused them some hesitation, but we've got a complete strategy swap up here for Na'Vi as well. No more soft wall in the garage, no more mirror windows. We still have an Echo drone to worry about though, and the lack of an IQ now from Reciprocity thanks to the 6-pick could be an issue if they do take as long to try and initiate a plant as they did last time.
This is your opportunity to squelch the competition, and right now, if you continue to allow Na'Vi to run rampant at any part of the map that they want, you're going to continue to have to deal with Citizen, and it appears to me, at least, that the information game is just not working out in their favor on that front. So why not fully commit and then just go for those more aggressive takes, take the areas of the map that you want and make them fight for it, because right now, Citizen's just able to walk wherever he pleases, and there's really no counter to it. Upside down rappel allocated for Mark, it's a pretty traditional thing. It allows you to see down towards the white van when you use one of the breaching rounds for Ash, so very, very nice angle. You can also make one a little bit deeper into Piano to be able to get rid of some bandit batteries that they could possibly place on the garage wall. We're going to have the garage wall destructed though, so don't have to worry too much about those, obviously, since there is no bandit or Kaid in play. That is just free real estate.
Yeah, another 6-pick off the Kaid onto the Echo, and realistically, 2 ACOGs downstairs could be another trouble that Reciprocity will have some issues with. And it looked like Pi was prone underneath Black Car, trying to get aggressive out towards the breach hole. Yeah, it looks like Citizen started downstairs, so they start 5 on site. Reciprocity's well aware of this strategy. It's something they employ quite often, and we saw yesterday against Ninjas in Pajamas, which was that late flank up the Visa stairs from a Jaeger, specifically laxing and having some fun in towards the lobby. Second Thermite charge will come out onto the left-hand panel of the wall now, as that will be full visibility into the entirety of the garage, a little strip down the middle, but that'll force Pi to drop all the way back towards the office hallway by pipes. Still standing at a 5v5, but I do like the amount of drones that are coming in for Reciprocity to, again, confirm what their suspicions are, and that how many members are on site. You need to get a head count for who's up, who's down. They've lost track of Citizen, though, as he is on the top floor.
And that's something we've been talking about this entire game. You gotta be worried about this man's location because he could pop up at any given time. He's coming down yellow right now. He's looking for these kills. He hears the breaching hammer breaking the floor up. Skies is gonna start us off though with save. Did he hear him rotate out of Piano? I don't believe he did. Citizen still thinks he's inside. This could be a free kill. Oh no, he recognizes out the rotate, but they didn't find him once again. Can he find him? Oh my goodness, Citizen a triple to shut down the Reciprocity take. And guys, you gotta do better than that. You could have brought the gridlock, you could have brought something to shut down these rotates, but Skies is gonna match the triple, and all of a sudden we're down to a 2 versus 2. Oh, Skies going for the quad. Can he win it? He can! Can he get the ace? Citizen upstairs, but the diffuser hasn't been put down yet. They rotate over. He's gonna get 1 free kill for his leisure. It's all up to Mark. Citizen is gonna have to ace to clutch it up. Mark on full HP. Citizen down to less than 25. Drops down, but it's gonna be Dokkaebi. These weapons are not the best in the world, but the SMG-12 will definitely do in this close range. Again, Reciprocity needs to link these rounds together. A 4-2 split is not that bad. He's holding a tight angle. Oh my goodness, never mind. Mark is actually on the Ash. Apologize for that, but it's a quick shot, and Reciprocity going to find that second round and make the split 4-2.
The barreling into the bomb site there, Citizen has honestly the play of the game right there. 3 kills in about 5 seconds, pushing his way down yellow stairs. And for Reciprocity there, they get away with one. The quick entry, the ability to push on through the bomb site. I don't want to say it's all one man's fault on the side of Na'Vi, but Kendrew on the dock had attempted to go up and join Citizen on the flank, and then he had to retreat because they left Nello alone on the bomb site. He was the Echo alone. And then Kendrew had to retreat there. So for Reciprocity here, and you can see Skies on the entry through the backside as well, with the aggression in tandem with the lifeline. This stuff from Citizen, 3 in a row, almost gets the 4. He does get the 4 later on onto Skies. But yeah, this drop from Reciprocity here into the back. Again,
that's what you want to see.
Surprise factor for Reciprocity. That's the difference maker right there.
Where was that for the rest of the offense, though? That's what I'm questioning, you know? And Mark on the Ash again, I was like, I completely thought he was Dokkaebi for about 2 seconds there. But despite that point, Reciprocity showed calculated aggression there, which is fine. Do that. It works out for you. But do it for the rest of the rounds as well. You guys on the previous rounds really just didn't show any of your aggressive face. It was just very passive play, waiting for Na'Vi to make a misstep. You have to force that misstep to happen with Na'Vi. They're not just going to give it to you. And most of the time, if you do just go with that passive play style, you're just going to have Citizen or another member of Na'Vi flank. I mean, we're all the way at the split right now, and I believe that Citizen is already in double-digit kill territory.
I wouldn't doubt it, honestly, the way he's been going off so far. We stand at a 4-2 scoreline at the half, like you said, and we do have a very similar operator lineup coming out here for Na'Vi that we've seen on a myriad of maps that we saw yesterday against Wildcard. We got the Gridlock to lock down some flanks, and we do have Pi on the Buck as well, and Nello under the Thatcher. So Pi's been playing a crap ton of Thatcher these days, just as a flank hold, throw your little orbs, get rid of some electronics, and have fun with your gun. That's going to be Nello's job today, as Pi is tasked with a little more intricate of a role. Nello will be holding for the jump out through the A-bomb balcony, otherwise known as the projector balcony, and yeah, 13 right now for Citizen.
That's 13 for Citizen, and the rest of his squad has 7 combined. That is incredible. Skies has 9 on the other end of the board, so it seems like these are going to be the 2 highlight players you're going to be wanting to pay attention to. Skies on a little bit more of an aggressive role on the offense, played a lot of Zofia, but he's been loving his smoke gameplay on the defense. We had a conversation about it. He's been loving the SMG-11, just the utility in general of smoke, the play style, where you can be aggressive or passive. There's just so many different ways you can use smoke. He's like a Swiss Army knife. But since he's not going to be in that aggressive place, he's going to have to be worried a little bit about his utility. You want to stay up to be able to use that in the proper instances. Obviously, you don't have to wait till the very last second to use them. They can be used to delay or set up for kills with shotguns and things along those lines with smoke. But Kendrew actually going to make good with those X-Kairos, opens up a very tiny hole inside of projectors. So they now know that someone is more than likely in to the left. It's a very traditional place to be playing. They're going to go for some more X-Kairos, frag grenade in, and it's going to do all the damage needed. Sky's down, Nello finds a kill as well, and all of a sudden Reciprocity is staring down 5-3 on a possibility, but no, Retro with a quick action will dock up Skies to 75 HP.
Picks him right back up with a stim pistol there. Nobody able to cross him out when he went for that peek with the stim pistol in hand. Good news is here for Reciprocity, you also have a lot of operators that can handle a lot of stall. You got Skies on the smoke, you've got Foxay on the Clash, and you've got Laxing on the Echo. This is a lot of utility to have to deal with here for Na'Vi, but they do have that man advantage, and they've taken down the best fragging power on the side of Reciprocity in terms of Mark's 416 now being set 6 feet under. Citizen getting a lot of pings from down below inside of Antechamber, looking skyward. Retro's going to overheal himself, and I'm waiting for him to spring into action as he overhealed himself, but it still wasn't enough as Pi will cut him down with that C8. Skies in the trade onto Pi as the plant is being attempted now by Kendrew. No one really intervening right now for Reciprocity as Citizen will be pushing up, but Skies will grab one, Foxay with another, pushing up the yellow stairs, but there goes Laxing inside of the bathroom, down to the 2v2. A man rotating out a connector and caught on cams right now is Citizen. 10 seconds tick down as they don't have diffuser control. Skies on 1 HP will still win out against Citizen. Nello on the pre-fire, it does not happen. Skies goes massive inside a connector on the smoke, and Reciprocity pulling things back.
13 kills for Skies across these rounds so far, so is it a battle of Reciprocity versus Na'Vi, or is this practically a 1 versus 1 between 2 extremely dominant players? And that's how you play smoke, my friend. That is how you do it. You can get aggressive. You don't just have to sit there and hold your utility in your hands. And Skies proves once again why he is on that operator. We're going to have some things move around. And this right here is what I want to see, Flynn. Skies on the Jaeger. He's shifting over right now to the Mozzie. Foxay grabbing Vigil and Lax on Ella. Mark and Retro back on that support role. Run rampant, my friends. Run rampant.
Well, it was 4 rounds in a row there for Na'Vi, and then all of a sudden, Reciprocity. They wake up, they spring back into action, and it's 3 in a row for the North American squad. Should remind you, for anyone who's missed the first game, and spoiler alert, for anyone who missed the first game today.
Mute your screen.
3, 2, 1. Dark Zero, the Arrow Wolf, 2-0-7-3-7-3. So we do have a possibility of an all-North American Grand Final here in Tokoname. You can see the round breakdown there. It was a honestly, just a lot of rounds on time. 2 out of the 4 victorious rounds there for Na'Vi. Again, Reciprocity starting slow on the attack. They pick up the pace and they piece 2 together before the half. Skies and Citizen have combined for 60% of all kills so far in this match. As we highlighted the math there, it's a little worrisome that both teams have one individual leading the charge, but when they're that far up, it's just impressive to see. It's the first team that's going to have their support players jump in and join the fray that will probably take this map.
This is a team game until it's not. And when you have 60% of the kills on 2 separate people, when there's 10 inside of a lobby, that's extremely impressive to say the least. Na'Vi not being able to find a round on offense just yet, but Reciprocity is looking like a totally different beast on defense. Apparently the training wheels are still on for this new offensive lineup they've been wanting to bring as of late, but the defense still seems to be pretty well put together.
Laxing onto the Ella as well. That's a newer operator that we haven't seen Lax play a whole lot of. Fox onto the Vigil, so it looks like we're getting a little bit of a stretch here from Reciprocity. Trying to get each of their, I guess, secondary and third members into the action as well. Like I said, whoever support players and secondary fraggers can jump in and join Skies or join Citizen right now. It's probably the difference maker on the entirety of the map. Got an LA against the Zofia on the lineup as well. This is a basement defense, but a lot of focus here from Na'Vi, as should be onto the lobby. A press into Piano there, and there goes Pi taking down Skies. So unfortunately, they shut down the best fragger for Reciprocity. For Na'Vi, once again, they get the opening pick, but they got the opening pick last time onto Mark, who had the best weapon capable of dealing a lot of damage. Nello pushing down Yellow Stairs without a whole lot of contest. This is worrisome. There's a lot of flankers in place right now for Reciprocity to come down from the top floor. There's only 1 man on site. The plant's going down from Kendrew.
Can they stop him? No, Citizen's gonna get ate up. Kendrew's confirming the plant, and all of a sudden it's all hands on deck. Laxing to get 1, but Navi's already bailed outside. Reciprocity now has to gunfight all of these ACOGs. Some quick shots for saves as he tags up Fox, who's gonna be down on 1 HP in suit with Mark. Laxing's still up. He could possibly do some damage, but that Scorpion's not good at range. Fox finds Nello on the rotate. They're defusing. Can they stop him? They can't! Reciprocity, my God! Round 8 to tie things up, and you don't know how difficult that retake is. It almost takes everything to go your way. There cannot be a single misstep, otherwise you lose that round.
The timing there, and yeah, Na'Vi are also going to take a tack timeout here, and that's no shock. That retake there from Reciprocity, all the timing fell their way, and they hit their shots quite splendidly. For Reciprocity there, you've pieced now 4 in a row. It's a streaky map here on Consulate. We equalize now at a tie. It's Reciprocity winning the top floor. It's Reciprocity winning the basement. We haven't seen any inclination in the past of Reciprocity willing to play Teller's Archive, so most logical next step would be to go to lobby. Honestly, the retake here, 3 roamers coming out for Reciprocity, and it works out well on the retake just narrowly. Fox A escaping that peek from the front door with 1 HP and being instrumental, as Nello could have shut down the plant or the counter defuse by Retro there. And the Hibana holes, instead of taking a Thermite, they opt to take a Hibana, and they don't have visibility on the diffuser. It really looked like Kendrew said, holy crap, I can plant. So he planted. You had 2 members still outside by the police line spawn, outside of the piano windows, and they had to retreat over to the garage, and they got caught on rotations. It's a difficult spot to be in for Na'Vi, just not being in place for that post plant, and Reciprocity took full advantage.
And to make matters worse, you don't have direct vision on the diffuser. That's a main thing you want on Garage. Long arms do still exist. They're not as long as they used to be, but they do still exist, and that's a perfect proprietor of why you should try and open up more vision once you get that diffuser down. Now the main issue is, did they have any more X-Kairos? We don't really know because we didn't have the full utility breakdown, but if they did, that's kind of a blunder. If they didn't, then obviously there's not really much you can do. You kind of just have to try and challenge into the garage and hope for the best. But as my friend Flynn was just saying here, that might not want to be something just because you can doesn't mean you should.
Preparation to be able to be in position for that post plan is crucial, and for Na'Vi there, it looked like they wanted to stop the bleeding. They wanted to take a shot and just play it off the post plan in chaos. And unfortunately, Reciprocity, they love to live in those chaotic scenarios. So we're going to go to a lobby defense, as I said. We're not going downstairs to Tellers and Archives. I don't imagine Reciprocity would want to, but looking to make it 3 straight defenses in the back of 2 consecutive offenses to head into the half. This could be Reciprocity going for their own clean sweep on the defense.
5 seconds remaining.
Lobby defense will employ a lot of members topside as well for Reciprocity, playing upstairs, waiting for members to try and go for the clear. Laxing go from that same spawn peak out that Visa window that did yesterday in towards the gas station spawn. Nobody in position to take any of those bullets from the 416. But now we got Laxing on Jaeger. A lot of roll swaps coming out this map from Reciprocity to try and counter what Na'Vi are bringing, and this kind of adaptation is pure Reciprocity. Skies are going to take a lot of damage, almost 50. I believe that was from a frag grenade from Pi. Either that or a lifeline from Saves. Either one. Nice shot there from Na'Vi, and it was a frag grenade. A second one will go pouring in, but Retro will juice Skies back up to about 95.
It's the beauty of having Doc, a fantastic operator. That MB5 especially might not be the most damaging gun on the defense, but it has an ACOG, and that's really all anyone really cares about. Reciprocity so far on the defense have looked gold, and Na'Vi's already burnt their timeout as well, so they both sit with no timeout, and we don't want to jinx it in any other way for anything else to happen. Obviously, we want this to go as smoothly as possible, but Reciprocity playing a lot more spread on their defensive set so far instead of being very tight-knit like they were on their offense. We didn't see very many split pushes, and when it was a split push, it was really only Lax himself. Saves, pre-fires a door, and takes down Lax on yellow stairs to start things off.
Saves outside of the front door right now, looking in towards the lobby, and it looks like Na'Vi focusing heavily on the garage from down below. They're trying to get underneath with Pi to buck up underneath through the panels, and Mark taking a little bit of damage through the floorboards now with Nello combining on the rappels. I like the strategy here from Na'Vi, not something you see employed every day, but you have to be worried about the flanks. You shut down Laxing, but you got to be worried about Skies. He's going to go for the jump on the Echo, and he collects. No one in range to trade that back out.
This is not looking good for Na'Vi. I have not seen Skies this determined since Elevate, when he was just all over every single map. This is very, very scary looking. Oh, Pi almost getting eaten up on yellow stairs. He challenges back in, but it's Kendrew to win it out against Retro. Pi's been down, though. He has to worry. Mark rotating, but it's Skies. Can he get the second? Did he see the animation? I don't believe he did. Rotates back in towards Z. They still have people inside of Spiral. Citizen working his way up. Skies and Fox, the last two remain, but he hears them. He hears the echo of the footsteps. Only 40 seconds remain. Skies still up on Echo as well. That's very important. He's going to have those Yokai drones alive in order to stop this plant. Natus Vincere does not have any top control either, which is a staple for this site. You need that in order to get the diffuser down safely. Citizen still on yellow. They want another frag before they try and go for this diffuser. They want to make it a 1 versus 3. And ADS eats up one of Nello's EMPs. A rotate in. Skies is going to take a lot of damage, and Retro isn't alive to save him this time around, but the timer is dangerously low. They have to go for broke. They need to get this diffuser down. Citizen claims Skies. It's all up to Fox. Can he possibly stop him? Kendra has to go through a full animation, and he's going to be locked in after that. Oh, right as it hits 0-0. Fox needs to get the kill. Do they know where he's going to be coming from? He downs one. Does he see him in tight right? Oh no, the diffuser's already been locked in. It's a 1 versus 2. He has to reload this SMG-11. It's not the best weapon inside of a 1 versus 2. It's got a very low mag capacity. He lights up Kendrew, but it's not going to be enough to be fatal just yet. He confirms. Is he going to stick this? Is he going to pros don't fake? Oh no, he goes back to it once again to try and bait for more shots, but nothing to possibly happen. Challenges back in, and Citizen to win it out. Na'Vi bringing it back.
Stopping the bleeding will be Na'Vi. They'll stop the run at 4. 4 apiece in a row there for Na'Vi and for Reciprocity. And Na'Vi will now take the lead. 2 away from clinching map number 1. And a map that looked like it was running away from Rec, suddenly it's a barn burner all over again. That Reciprocity defense there on the lobby defense, honestly, just lack of sight control there. Unfortunate for them, but I did really like the push downstairs from Na'Vi. Pushing downstairs with Pi on the buck, causing a lot of havoc, and the IQ below as well. This is just a nasty shot from Saves, and Laxing barely saw him there for a moment. Honestly, like you said, though, Sky seems determined. I don't know what his kill count's at right now. I think it's upwards of 15, 16.
17, I believe, if I can keep track mentally.
Nice attempt there from Mark to burst down the bathroom hatch as well to try and interject onto that base.
Citizen has 17, so I got one of them right.
There you go. Right now for Reciprocity, they're going to run back the lobby defense. They feel confident in what they saw, even though they left Fox 8 in a 1v3. Like you said, though, no top control being taken there for Na'Vi, and that allowed Fox 8 to rotate down from upstairs. it was a nice strategy there from Na'Vi to completely avoid that roam and just an alternate take that you don't see every day. The Echo drones, unfortunately, Sky's challenging towards the front lobby. If he did have that Echo drone, he could have been able to stop the plant. As you mentioned, it went down, or started at 0-0-0.
That was very scary with that goo mine in his foot as well. That animation always cuts things close, and that's why we have conversations about Lesion all the time inside of the competitive community. I mean, he has everything you could possibly want, and that was almost, just inside of that utility, the disaster piece for Natus Vincere.
Well, running it back up now. We still have Skies on the Echo, but he's really never really shied off from taking these engagements, especially with that ACOG. The MP5 SD has a harsher damage drop-off, especially with the suppressor integral on it. It'll be up right now to Citizen to try and take care of these Echo drones. The mute chambers as well, causing a lot of disruption. It didn't really look like Na'Vi had an idea of where either of the members of Reciprocity were until the very bitter end. All the pings coming out from an Echo drone that was inside of the front lobby for Reciprocity during the retake for Fox A as well. Means the Citizen wasn't doing his job in clearing out those yokais. He has to use his utility and push on through. This time, looks like Na'Vi's going to be attempting to try and open up the back of the bathroom walls from outside of the bench's windows, but the X-Cars will be shot clean off the wall. I believe that was from Skies.
Well, Na'Vi going for relatively the same take that we saw the last time, starting things off cool, calm, and collected over on yellow stairs. More than likely going to be able to recognize out that there is going to be a roam press, and Saves is going to utility dump both of his impacts as well as concussions already expended, and they're not going to really make anything else on top of that. He will be able to establish an angle into bathroom that could possibly be used later on. It looks like they're going to be focusing on piano here as the rest of Na'Vi is in tandem. Laxing to start us off this time around, and that's going to be a huge pick. That's Kendra. That's the only hard destructor. Citizen to refrag with that 5.52 commando. Such a fantastic weapon in the proper hands, and Citizen has definitely been on fire throughout today.
Nello, again, taking up his post, upside down on these antechamber windows, looking for Mark to push out of the bathroom. Deals a bit of damage now, down to about 60 HP from Mark. Do have Retro the Doc to try and boost him back up, but I imagine a lot of top control still invested here for Reciprocity. There is one silhouette still topside, and Citizen will look to engage. Hitting the deck coming up the Visa stairs and trying to be as quiet as possible. Mark now down, and the push there. Beautiful win there from Foxay. Citizen will put him on about 5 HP, but Pi is now going for the plant as they downed off the man on site. Nice shot there from Skies on the retake into the bench's hallway. Pi has to pull off the plant now. It's a 2v4 if they can get Mark back up from inside of the bathroom. Now they're going to swing into the antechamber to join Pi as they circle around to the front lobby. Pushing through the antechamber, looking through these myriad kill holes that they've fashioned for themselves. Plant going down from Pi once again. They should still have that Echo drone up inside of the lobby. Skies rotating, the only one remaining though, but Foxay will land the Nitrous Hell onto Pi. It's a 1v3 now as now will collect the bleeding out Mark from inside of the bathroom. Prone underneath the hatch inside of Piano will be Retro. They're also low on HP. There goes Nello trying to hit the shot to the LD5, whips out the pistol, and it's a trade on the down. Skies will clean it up, and Reciprocity will equalize once again.
Reciprocity fighting back, and that's what is needed. Give it a show, boys. Again, this is semifinals. You're all the way in Japan. This is our first event that is interregional competition from across the entire globe here in APAC. Put on a show for everyone at home. Put on a show for all of your family back in North America. It all comes to a head here. Can you beat Na'Vi? Can you beat the #1 European team? This is their map pick, for God's sakes, and you guys are showing them up right now with a quick run of 4 rounds and then equalizing once again after they take the lead.
Nice Nitro Cell there from Foxay as well. Relaying the intel, I guess they didn't have the Yokai drone still up inside of the lobby, but good guess on the plant there for Reciprocity. So able to pull that one back now for Rec. North America still hanging in here on map #1. Na'Vi, honestly, they came away to that blistering start. And things really started to quiet down as soon as Reciprocity started picking up the pace and looking to engage. Skies also coming alive. Did not hurt things. Almost identical operator lineup being brought here from Na'Vi once again. Everyone on the same roles as well. Seems like they're having some issues being able to maintain man count when going in for that site execute. Ignoring the roam worked for a minute there until the collapse from Skies and from Foxay has just been so detrimental to the attempted plants. Pi really never had a chance to plant safely anywhere, either in Piano or inside of the front lobby. It's going to force us back downstairs in the defense now for Reciprocity, as it's a best of 2 here in regulation. We might be heading to overtime. Wouldn't be at all shocked to see overtime on this first map either.
would not be shocked either. Would definitely be inside of that boat of going, like, yeah, he kind of deserves it, doesn't it? Consulate so far been a battle of wits more than it's been of brawn, unless you want to talk about Skies and Citizen. The rest of the rosters have really been utilitarians, if we can use that. Well, Reciprocity especially, we've been watching these players for a very, very long time inside of North America, and this seems like a completely different Reciprocity, Flynn. They're a lot more controlled. There isn't nearly as many heroic style of plays, which I'm perfectly fine with, especially on the defensive side. They've looked lights out. They've been able to create plays, and that's really what you need to do when you are on that defensive side. Now, the offense is a different story. If they could mimic what they're doing with their defense to their offense, I really feel like this would be a completely different game.
Citizen alone on the entry with no drones in front, just face-checking everything on the top floor, but he does have two members of his team trailing behind him, Pi and Saves. Breach Charge coming out onto the top floor in towards Pianos. There are a couple roamers right now in Skies, and I believe Laxing, there he is, hiding inside of the same closet that Citizen was utilizing before. I imagine he'll be well wary of that position. Citizen gonna drop the Piano hatches. There's a flank coming up the yellow stairs, though. I don't think anyone for Na'Vi is well aware of this. The Skies made it to the top, and there he goes, tacking on to his already insurmountable kill lead, ripping back down the yellow stairs, though. Citizen against Skies, the two top fighters in the match, and Citizen will come out on top, but not before they sacrifice the live of Pi.
He's one kill away from breaking the 20 kill margin as Citizen. Sky is currently sitting at 18. He had it tied up there for just a second until the refrag came through. Citizen now dancing with fates through the kitchen door. They have a shield on it, so he's going to have to be extremely precise. Kendra now going for the plant. Hopefully they have it set up on the garage this time around well, and it seems like it's going to be confirmed. No Nitro Cell pours in. Toxic Babe at the very last second, but it's not going to do very much damage. They have to lock things down. Nello going to get tagged up. He's actually going to be downed, and it's going to be an equal trade here as Retro gets confirmed inside of Kitchen. Crawls away to safety, though, is Nello. Do they know he's down? It's going to be a rotate, but Citizen's on yellow. It seems like the man practically lives here. Pre-fires once again, but Reciprocity! No one's watching! What just happened? What?
They just stuck the defuse with no one covering. Everyone from Reciprocity throwing bodies to the grave, but Reciprocity.
What are you guys doing?
Nobody watching the diffuser for Na'Vi, and now Reciprocity stands on match point on map number 1. Out of nowhere, no more tech timeouts to regroup. Na'Vi had the round in the bag until they turned their attention away.
Camel, back, you guys know how it goes, and that honestly might be the straw that does it. Because that is, well, you guys saw Citizen's face. That's how it goes. You're not very happy about that. That is where you just look at your teammates and go, what the hell were you doing? Where were you? Where were you? Because I covered yellow. I was killing people. I cut off the rotate. What are we doing here, you know? So in that post-plant scenario, that, again, is an extremely difficult thing to pull off. And I really want to be able to go back and see if they made the same mistake of not having direct line of sight on the diffuser when they planted it. Did Kendrew just go in there and plant because he had the ability to, instead of, you know, being able to set things up properly to have a successful post plant? Because as we just talked about earlier, that is one of the most difficult sites in the game to win a retake on. And you've done it twice.
Foxay
here's the replay.
Snuggles on in up against the diffuser, and yeah, he's the last. Marks off in Narnia. He's the last one really close. He gets flashed, and wow.
They didn't have direct line of sight.
Nope.
They didn't.
Never saw him.
Oh my goodness.
Again with the long arm here for Foxay, and that's going to put Reciprocity on match point on map number 1. Quite the crazy game here for Reciprocity in terms of retakes and getting back into a game that looked like it was almost out of reach. It was a 4-0 deficit for Reciprocity to crawl back from. They've only lost one round in the since that 4-0 deficit.
So I really, really hate talking about frags like this. But not a single member of Na'Vi has over 5 kills except for Citizen, and he has quadrupled that. That is not okay.
What did I say? Your support players come alive, you're probably winning the map. He's got Skies right now has a little bit of help from Mark and from Foxhead right now, above 6 or at 6 each. So a little bit more help on the side for Skies on the side of the Reciprocity. Unfortunately for Citizen right now, he's pouring his heart and soul into this map. And for Na'Vi, they need to push into overtime now. You cannot win it in regulation. Reciprocity 1 round away from clinching map number 1 in the best of 3. Pi looking to turn the corner here, but he needs Kendra to come in and help and try an attempted breach. This is a top floor bomb site, so they're, and again, encroaching from the Visa take. Last time, again, it was an attempted plant from Kendra from inside of the projector room up against the wall on connector. But instead, they weren't looking for Foxe on that clash. No clash this time, as Foxe is going to be downstairs in the basement. He's currently on spiral stairs. That could be a difference maker as well, as there wasn't a whole lot of coverage from Na'Vi down below, covering for Nitro cells in through the main lobby.
And look at this mentality shift from Na'Vi. No aggression. Citizen isn't throwing himself into sight, isn't throwing himself at yellow. They're droning out everything. Now, the major thing right now is we have not seen a single drone step foot downstairs or step wheel downstairs. And that could be a really big issue. Foxe's pulse, and if you try and go for a plant here, he could definitely throw a nitro cell and eliminate you. They do have Citizen downstairs in the main lobby area to be able to thwart those plans if it does ensue. But they need to try and get this plant down now. There's plenty of time for Skies to be able to Toxic Babe off these windows up until about 5 seconds remaining, and then Kendrew's going to be locked away into practically a 5 versus 4, but it's not going to matter as he's removed from play.
Saves taking down Skies, a nice little rotation there onto the console windows. Fox taking a lot of damage downstairs as he tries to rotate up, but Citizen will cut him down. Another flank coming in, and it'll be successful. Laxing on 10 HP as he'll have to rip upstairs to Retro. The plank going down, and Nello will cut down Mark. It's all down to Retro upstairs on the bottom side. Nello again! Through the desk, the plant will go down. 10 HP left on Laxing, and it looks like we're heading to extra rounds. He's gonna head downstairs into the basement. This could be a full flank over to the Visa stairs to try and pull this back in the 1v4. Instead, he's gonna bunker up with some Legion mines, and we're gonna head all the way back. Reciprocity having already used their tactical timeout. They're gonna fake another one right here. An unofficial tac timeout to regroup.
It's something that the desk, I believed, or we talked about yesterday. It's something that Reciprocity does very often. When a round goes completely wrong like this, why am I just gonna go throw myself to the wolves when I already know there's like a 1% chance that this actually ends up working in my favor? So Reciprocity gonna talk things out instead, which is very nice because traditionally speaking, when you do this, you actually have a little bit more time than you have in a tactical timeout. So you have a little bit more time to discuss, get things set up for this OT. Reciprocity could take Na'Vi's map here.
Very possible. Heading into overtime, we'll have Reciprocity starting on the defense, the favored side right now.
So the real question, Flynn, is where did everything go wrong in that round? Was it just an overpeek into the long hallway into the line of sight of Nello? Was it just Skies not recognizing out that someone was on the window? Where was the big misstep in that round?
I'd have to say it's the rappel onto the console windows from Saves taking care of Skies, and then also the flank coverage downstairs taking down Foxe for Citizen. Those two have been difference makers for Na'Vi so far. And honestly, time control, again, it's a huge problem for both of these teams on the attack. We ranted and raved at Reciprocity for their slow pace in their first 4 attacking rounds. For Na'Vi as well, you know, we're trying to plant here, unless it's the basement, which Reciprocity will return to, in which they've lost, and Na'Vi has lost 2 post-plant scenarios, thanks to retakes and not paying attention to the diffuser. For Reciprocity as well, they've done a good job of stalling out Na'Vi. You take down Skies in the smoke when he's only used 1 smoke grenade with about 45 seconds left, you're in a golden position to be able to push in for a plant. And as soon as everyone left from Reciprocity tried to pour in across the hallway, Nello with beautiful coverage through long desk. It was, honestly, that difference maker pick was Saves on the windows and Citizen downstairs. It opens up so many opportunities to make sure you can get a plant down safely. They had the huge man advantage, and Laxing on 10 HP really just, he had no opportunity. I do like the regroup from Reciprocity though. They're gonna head downstairs to the basement. That's a little worrisome for me for Reciprocity, actually, considering that Kendra's planted twice. But Na'Vi, you gotta get in position for a post plant here. This is something you need to focus up on. So many times now, we've seen them evade the diffuser after it's planted like it doesn't matter anymore. You still have to cover that thing for 45 seconds.
Well, it seems like we're going for a full clear of the building, Flynn, as everyone is poised on the eastern side. That's their traditional way to handle this map. Start admin, work your way across the console, go down yellow, and work your way back towards tellers. It's a very, very tried and true method of handling Consulate, as old as time, really. So that will be the game plan for Na'Vi, getting rid of cameras through floors and the like. For the game plan for Reciprocity, you've already seen them change up a little bit of their operator lineup. Foxy is going to be bringing Bandit, which we have not seen too much of. And Bandit tricking is kind of out of meta. It still obviously works, but there's a lot of utility that counters that out now, so you don't see it used to its utmost ability often anymore. So we could see him possibly spell the demise for Kendra's Thermite charge this time around, and that could end up winning that round just off of that utility battle.
I mean, Thermite is the opportunity you want to take while attacking towards the garage, right? Like, you need visibility on the diffuser. I don't know how many times we said that sentence so far this match. It's certainly not a lot. I think that was a Yokai drone that was just taken away by Citizen there, so finally getting some utility work in. A Nitrocell being prepped here, thrown onto the ceiling. Nope, put in the back pocket now by Foxay. The breach will be attempted here onto the wall, and Foxay just milliseconds away from being in place to be able to bandit trick. We saw this yesterday from Fox as well, playing on the Kaid to start things off in the garage defenses and then backing off to the Bandit after, just having more flexibility as a 3-speed with a Nitro Cell and having an MP7 to maneuver the map and have better fragging power.
It's going to be a huge issue for Reciprocity on this defense. Na'Vi is opening everything, but that might be what they need. Take down Pi. That's going to be frag grenades gone for the offense, as well as that skeleton key, but he's already done plenty of damage to the flooring in order for Na'Vi to use these angles. Oh, it's going to be the feed season. The 5.52 doesn't care what body part it hits. It will claim lives, and it's going to claim retro. Now we've been equalized. It looks like it's going to be a full-on constriction here from Na'Vi, doing their best snake impression as they've got people poised on both ends of the spectrum of Consulate. Mira's still in place. They're more than likely going to prioritize Kitchen to try and get rid of these Miras in order to get a diffuser down. It's still going to be in Kendra's hands as he starts to plant behind White Van. That smoke grenade's going to miss. It's going to be a down of Mark. Fox has also been downed, and once again, it's going to be a confirmed. Skies misses a shotgun shot, Laxing to trade it out, and it's going to be a 1 versus 3. Again, 2 people down. I don't believe he's going to have time. He's going to rotate through. Saves is already sitting back down on the admin stairs. Does he recognize out that he rotated through? Oh no, he misses the vision. This could be everything that they need in order to get this post plant to work. He rotates back through, saves. What are you doing, my friend? He finally finds one. Does he win out the gunfight? He does. That's going to be Laxing. It's going to be down to 20 HP. That's going to be a double for saves. And all of a sudden, it's going to be a 1 versus 3. 3 armor Mark, but it doesn't even matter about the armor rating. He dies in 1 bullet, and it's going to be saves with a triple. And Na'Vi to take the lead once again.
Putting themselves now on match point here on map number 1 will be Na'Vi. We might go the absolute distance, requiring all 15 here on Consulate. That will require a Reciprocity round to come back. And Na'Vi hyping up the crowd for themselves. As talked about yesterday, Reciprocity having quite the contingent of fans here in Japan, but seems like the Japanese crowd is favoring Na'Vi. They win the round, and look at that. They're watching for post plant. Good downs there, and Citizen covering from yellow stairs as well. Being able to shut down possible utility, getting rid of Retro on the Echo as well was massive. Nitrocell from Mark opens things up. But outside of that, there wasn't a whole lot of progression in towards an attempted plant there. You can see the rush from the smoke of Reciprocity pushing towards yellow stairs, but missing on the shot towards Citizen and losing his life for it, leaving Laxing alone. We do have a tech break here, as we did have someone from Na'Vi drop out of the lobby, so we still stand at a 7-6. We're just going to be taking a moment here to get everyone back into the lobby and make sure that we can continue on.
Overall, this map's going a lot better than it looked like it was going to go at the very beginning of this. Na'Vi runs up a quick 4 rounds. Reciprocity has no answer back on their offensive side, and then all of a sudden they wake up. They link together 2 rounds. Granted, it was not in the best fashion, but it still happened, and that's what they needed to happen going into their defensive side. Going with a better split than, well, 6-0. You really don't want to be staring down that barrel, because it's not a very fun one to do that. So, again, Pi's disconnected right now. We'll get him back in here, but some highlights for the game so far, if you guys are just joining us. Citizen currently has 23 kills. He's Michael Jordaning it. And then we have his, well, competition. Skies on the other end, who currently, I believe, has 19 kills, if I was able to read that quickly enough on the scoreboard. So it's been really a showing of these two across the field and seeing who can possibly pop off more. We've seen some rounds of some crazy stuff happening, though. We're having the good old hype clap coming in from the Japanese crowd, and you'll love to see it, folks. This is esports. If you don't think that it's real, well, you're just lying to yourself.
It's Na'Vi leading the charge, too. They're getting their hands up and going for the clap, going for the chant, and they're bringing the crowd into it. That energy can definitely play into pushing some momentum for your favor back in. Looks like we are almost ready to get back underway here as well, as we're just going to confirm everyone is still good to go, but we do have 10 members in a lobby. We do have a round about to begin. It's going to be Reciprocity now working on the attacking side, Na'Vi on the defense, and Na'Vi are going to elect to go to the lobby. So they started off with Teller's Archives, and I believe they were 2 for 2 on it earlier. No, they were 1 for 1. On the attempts there for Na'Vi on the Teller's Archives bomb sites. They're not going to go back, they're going to go to lobby. And honestly, that was the Echo drone positioning inside the lobby that was able to stop out a plant with about milliseconds remaining in the round. Do have the Echo coming back into play, but good pick up here from Skies to get back onto the IQ. No Jackal being played to track down Citizen, and that's the first person I'm looking for, is Skies versus Citizen. How does that engagement go if they do come to blows, or if they're going to ignore one another, try and push into the bomb site and ignore a little bit of the roam, imping a little bit of the style that Na'Vi were bringing.
I stare out right now, look at the crowd and the staff standing near Na'Vi, which is a usual thing that you see when somebody's going to win a map, and I'm getting flashbacks of Evil Geniuses at our last Pro League finals, where we both sat front row and watched every single staff member crowd around the NA team as they were poised to win their first LAN in a very, very long time. Their first major win since year 1, season 3, and then it didn't happen. And that's currently just rolling through my mind right now, just reminiscing about, would you really want those people to stand in front of you while you're this close to victory on your first map? There's still a job to be done, and Reciprocity is looking to play devil's advocate. They want to be able to push this to max on this first map. They're not done yet. Specifically, Skies is not done yet. He's dropped 19 on the map so far, an extremely impressive showing, especially since he allocated himself over to the smoke roll. He did not get demoted. He wanted to do it, and he's proven everyone wrong by being so successful with that role.
Well, also with the IQ roll, he's taken down 1 out of 2 Yokais from Nello, so he's only got 1 remaining. He'll have to rotate back and forth between the bomb sites. And this guy's having some difficulties. Rappelling down onto the projector balcony. For the lobby take here, this is a lot of amassing of Reciprocity members outside, waiting for peeks out windows, but again, Na'Vi's not going to give you anything for free. Mark will make the first entry into the building for Reciprocity. He pushes in through CEO. Pi playing inside a projector with a reinforcement on his window. I don't think he knows that Skies is prone on his balcony, looking to take out the drone. There's 2 drones collapsing upon him, and Pi's going to have to retreat all the way into admin, trying to evade the pressure that is swarming around him from Rec.
Well, the issue is now, though, Reciprocity is still loitering outside. There's not very much pressure except for Skies, who finds Citizen. It's been the tale of these two throughout this entire game so far, and Skies strikes back. Na'Vi down a man, but only a minute remaining, and as we know, it's always on the defensive side for Timer, but unless you want to kill them all, Skies, the G8A1 proving to be the weapon of choice for that IQ. No AUG, no 552, who even needs them, but they need to be respectful of this time. The Echo's still alive in the likes of Nello's hands. Kendrew's still up as well with a Nitro Cell, more than likely, as well as saves. This diffuser needs to go down now. They have the top control. That is the main tool that is needed in order to confirm this. Toxic Babes now pour in. They're going to have to plant in some place that isn't default.
Skies frantically searching for a Yokai drone, but being cut down now. It's saved by Mark, down to the 5v2. It's Kendrew and Nello to keep them alive here and push for the win. Cut down inside an antechamber. It could be a flawless round. And an exclamation point here as Kendrew will drop down the lobby, but no! Milliseconds away from stopping the play, and Reciprocity are gonna push all the way to round 15.
You'll love to see it. You'll love to see it. We thought Reciprocity was going to come in here and do the exact same thing that happened yesterday against Ninjas in Pajamas. We thought they were going to lay down, but no, they're standing up, Flynn. They're standing up here in the APAC region, and they're proving that NA indeed has a leg to stand on. Na'Vi, you better show some respect. You better come correct. Otherwise, you're losing your map here, boys.
7-7, we head into round 15, and once against Skies. That shot onto Pi. I'm shocked he didn't hit him with a good night, honestly.
Disgusting. I'm telling you, this is the most dangerous version of Skies I have seen in a very long time. And I'm talking all the way back to Skies Ashmain Skies.
Those were some good days. And Skies reliving the glory days right now, honestly, for Reciprocity and their fans around the world. It comes down to this round, ladies and gentlemen. 7-7. We will have a victor in the next 2 minutes and 25 seconds, or 3 minutes and 25 seconds. We're going back downstairs to a basement defense once again for Rec. They feel like they can play that post plant well. They altered the strategy last time as well. They went for a 5 on site for the first round. And honestly, it looked like Na'Vi were able to pick apart that pretty well. You know, they really struggle with clearing the roamers and making sure that you're holding the flanks. When you're sitting 5 on site, Reciprocity just has not had a lot of success in employing that strategy on this bomb site. We'll have to see what they want to run this time, but we do have the Laxing back on the Ella, which is indicative of the roam. We have Foxe on the Vigil, again indicative of the roam. This could be a stall out here, especially on the roam here for Reciprocity, stalling Na'Vi from getting in. And Kendrew didn't take the thermite for the love of God. We have Hibana going on to the garage panels once again. If it's another clutch defuse with a man advantage and a post plant, I think Na'Vi's going to lose their mind.
And I promise you, if you are inside your house, if you are listening to this in earbuds, stop what you're doing. Stop whatever you're doing. I don't care if you're cooking. I don't care. You sit down and you watch this round. It'll be fine. It's only a couple of minutes. We only have 2 minutes and 8 seconds to decide who's going to win the first map. This is Na'Vi's map choice. This is only map 1. We still have a guaranteed map 2. Who is going to strike first? That is going to telegraph who could possibly win this out. Again, Na'Vi's map choice going into Consulate. Reciprocity has been able to battle back. It shows you why yesterday they were so passive playing against Ninjas in Pajamas. They did not want to show Na'Vi a single thing going in here.
Skies was looking like he wanted to go for a flex up the spiral stairs and engage on the roam clear, but thought better of it, getting spotted out on a drone onto the railing. So once again, we have these X-Kairos pellets going onto the garage wall, and I'm already having PTSD flashbacks for the last few times that this diffuser has been counter-disabled with no one watching for Na'Vi. Last time around, they did employ an upside-down rappel outside of this garage balcony, so hopefully someone can get in that kind of position again here if a plant can go down. Looks like Foxe,
we have an issue,
is inside of the bathroom. What is the issue, Samuel?
Pi has the diffuser.
Pi does have the diffuser.
That's not good.
That's
Pi's
not good at all.
upstairs inside of Piano. If Pi dies here, this is just positional advantage for Reciprocity. Vigil's inside of bathroom, and that's going to be Foxe. He hasn't had the hot hand, but the man can definitely take a gunfight and win it. He's going to drop the diffuser for somebody to be able to rotate it out, and that's exactly what they're going to do. They're going to hand it over to Citizen, who's not been able, well, he's been able to stay alive quite often. I mean, the man's got the most kills in the entire lobby. They end up finding one of Mark's yokai drones up in the corner. He'll mark it out for later dispastation. Citizen going to continue to rock down yellow. Smoke's now pouring in, but there's only 30 seconds left. Kendrew on the plant. Can they stop it this time? Where's the yokai? There it is. They stop it once. Fox gets a kill on the Pi. They still have the flank watch. Citizen showed face, but he didn't see him. That's going to be quite a bit of XP. Fox, oh my goodness, can he shut him down? Oh, that's all you need. You need to maintain that top control. Diffuser gets stuck again. It's Skies. Oh no, are they going to take the map? That's all she wrote on a flawless round. Reciprocity makes Apex stand up.
8-7 victory for Reciprocity on map number 1. They went down 4-0 and clawed it all the way back, and they take Na'Vi's map off them, shaking their heads as they walk off the stage. Now Na'Vi feeling themselves as it's Reciprocity taking map number 1. One map away from making this an all North American grand final. 21 kills for Skies, 23 kills for Citizen. It was the game of who could top frag the highest, and it looks like Reciprocity, even though they had didn't have the better top frag there, they were able to secure the victory 8-7. That's 15 rounds of excitement. That's 15 rounds that need to be broken down. Kassan and the boys have at her.
Thank you very much, Flynn. And yes, we are back. My God, have Reciprocity shown up. This is the team that we expected to be playing when we got to Pro League Finals. Not the one that we saw last night. I'm so impressed by the way that Reciprocity played. Skies, Laxing, Fox, they had their moments, Retro, and specifically you saw the Mira plays coming up from Mark. This is, again, the Rec we were expecting.
I'm glad they wanted to prove us wrong, and did that. Always. They showed up, and I mean, you have to deliver like this. They did. Damn well done.
Kudos.
We had plenty of doubts yesterday. It wasn't just overall strategic things that we lacked from Reciprocity, and they played Consulate yesterday. They got 1v3'd on that map. They have tightened up their ship, absolutely. So many players individually stepping up, but it was a team effort, and everything from the operator bans, getting rid of that Nomad, enabling those flanks, enabling a really, really mobile, fluid game style from Reciprocity was the secret to them taking that map. Even though it took them 0-4, come back to 4-4, all the way 15 rounds.
Yeah, we had a lot of crazy stuff happen. The 4-0 and the Ninja defuse, well, yeah. Ninja.
Oh my God. I don't know how that even happened. James and I were watching it here. We had just come back from Talent Room, and we're like, okay, this is going to end Navi's favor, and yeah, it just happened. The round ended, and we just look at one another like,
so the round ended, and then I read the text on screen. It said Team Reciprocity run the round, and I thought that's the end of the map, but no. Somehow, I have no idea how they managed to pull that off. It was so unfortunate to see how Na'Vi weren't bringing enough thermite to open up and gain enough angles to cover that diffuse, but even then, like Citizen, he dropped at 20k in that round. He got to his 20th kill, and then about 3 seconds later, he lost the round as a team. That's got to be heartbreaking.
With both Citizen and Skies on plus 20, and insane play from both of them. Like, credit to Navi where their opening and their plant, pretty damn solid. They just need to kind of figure out how they, you know, don't have Reciprocity diffusing.
And they were trying to put Citizen on that role. You have to hold on to yellow stairs the entire time, but he has to worry about flanks from upstairs because it's not clear, apparently, that there's a vigil still, that Skies is roaming somewhere. He has to do all of this work, fight 3 different angles on his own in yellow. Citizen's a great player, one of the best we've seen this season. Maybe that's a bit of a tall order.
I'm glad that he stepped up, though, because we didn't see as much from him in the wildcard match, especially on Cafe. It was Nello who was our MVP of that match. Citizen has redeemed himself in our eyes, so Na'Vi, they are playing at the top of their game. I think there are just a few things that Reciprocity are doing better. The real highlight for me is Reciprocity's ability to stay mobile and get on those flanks. With that Nomad ban, I don't think I saw once Na'Vi bring a gridlock or any kind of thing to prevent those roamings. No Lion either. I feel like there are a lot of things that they could be trying to throw at Reciprocity to prevent that movement and start to lock down some of these free roams.
It did run a bit of gridlock on saves earlier on in Consulate, but you're right. Their ability to lock down the roam and to just control the afterplant is definitely what was detrimental there.
Yeah, there was just no way to deal with these. And I have to say, when it was always garage takes from Na'Vi, the way that they opened up to come in and plant was always so odd and so closed. They didn't allow themselves more breathing room. Yes, they had Exkyrus holes on the other side of that garage wall to kind of protect from another angle, but they had top floor to deal with, they had white van as well that wasn't really cleared, and it's just very easy to
also the take they do is, it's pretty good up until the after plant, because they have full control. They're never going to go for a plant before they know the back of the white van is covered. They do have piano control, so they don't need much more. The backup they have with having the Habana holes as they are is that they can play close to the wall and you can frag as people come up between white or black van. And as long as they have yellow control, they normally always get that plant down. It doesn't matter if you get Echo Drone once or twice, he's going to run out at some point. It's that guy who might sneak up and get the kill.
One of the most pivotal position on that attack for Na'Vi was Citizen playing on yellow stairs. Not only was it his job to cover that push up from the pipes and up yellow stairs from any player that can turn around the corner and, as we saw in the last round, deny the plant, but also every single round, how many times did we see Citizen spotting out that Yokai drone, calling over for the Thatcher or someone else to take that out? It really helped out. I was super impressed with Na'Vi, their ability to control and deny that echo ability, but despite that, every single time they managed to get that plant down, Reciprocity had the numbers advantage. They would go for a flank upstairs, they would clear out piano. Na'Vi could no longer rely on that vertical play to cover the diffuser. They had to watch it from outside, and that's just not going to work with no thermite hole.
Well, that was map number 1. Let's go deeper into our second one. We saw Consulate will be going to Villa. Now, this is a map that Reciprocity are well known for being a powerhouse on. Jackal, Foxay, name me a better duo on Villa. He's been there since literally the first day Villa has been played in competitive play, and yes, this is a team to fear on it. What do Na'Vi have to do to recover from this one, and specifically to counter Reciprocity's infamous Villa play?
I'd honestly be more afraid of the potential pulse hiding in basement or something like that, because Navi's strength on this map was that their executes were so good, the post plans were so bad. If you get to execute on Villa and you have this pulse running around, you don't know, like it's almost impossible to drone anyone out in basement anyway, and he can scan the whole main floor, so he can really screw over and execute.
For Reciprocity right now, in my eyes, you have to continue this really roam heavy, get rid of that Nomad or the gridlock. It looks like Na'Vi aren't that great at playing with the gridlock. They weren't able to make it effective on Consulate. It's also a great pick on Villa, but I just don't see Na'Vi quite yet being able to contain those roamers. If I'm Reciprocity, Villa's a really big map. There's a lot of staircases, a lot of vertical opportunities, even roaming downstairs with something like a Pulse Valkyrie, Mozzie. So Reciprocity, stay mobile, prevent Na'Vi from really controlling those roamers. The key here is that Na'Vi's recent Villa performances have actually been really shoddy. They lost it twice in the Raleigh online qualifier to Vitality. Now, there might not be many VODs necessarily of Villa for Na'Vi, but I really hope they've been practicing it.
All right, gentlemen, final predictions for map number 2. Are we going to still see a quick third one?
I still hope we're going to get to the third map, but this one took longer than expected, so maybe it's going to just be this one.
You're just playing everything off of time. Thank you very much, Alex.
Pretty much.
James, on your side.
I think this might be the first time since the Six Invitational 2017 that we'll have 2 NA teams in a grand final at a major or Pro League finals. Could happen. Reciprocity look pretty good.
Yeah, that's the least to say. They've definitely shown up compared to yesterday. This is the Reciprocity that we imagined to have here at LAN. Na'Vi have to step up in their game. Ladies and gentlemen, it's map number 2 in this series. Reciprocity are 1 away from the grand finals. Dark Zero already await them. Na'Vi, Reciprocity. Map 2, we go to Villa. Are you ready? Hashime!
Thank you very much, Ghassan. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. You can see it there, 6 bans for Na'Vi, 2 bans, not many plays for Rec or for Na'Vi, but this is Reciprocity's map choice. They're able to steal away Consulate 8-7 away from Na'Vi. Their map falls, but Na'Vi lost map number 1 Cafe to Wildcard yesterday. Can they pull it back for 2 in a row once again? They're setting themselves up in a precarious situation, being on their back foot, but they will be also starting on the defense on Villa, the slightly more favored side on Villa. And I don't know what happened, but our operator bans slowed down.
I think we got a tech pause, I believe. I think we're getting something fixed real quick.
I'd imagine so.
Getting something fixed real quick. So no server crash, that's good. We're good. We're good. We only had that a couple of times this LAN, which is fine. Right? It happens. It's a LAN build, and every once in a while the LAN build just doesn't operate it the way that we want it to. This is a very complex game, folks. I know you guys love to rant and rave about it, but I mean, you have caliber-based destruction, for God's sakes. This thing's insane. This game is literally mental.
So for Villa heading in, I do agree a lot with what the Death said. You know, get the roam going if you're Reciprocity, and again, keep the pace, keep the tempo high if you're Rec, if you're looking to take this pretty swiftly. Looks like we're getting back underway here, so we're gonna start things off with a Maverick ban on Villa, no shock there. Thing that I'm worried about here is maybe we might get a Thatcher ban coming up from Reciprocity. They are starting on the attack, so that limits their opportunities. They'd have to go downstairs with some soft destruction, but instead we're gonna get that Nomad ban like the Death said as well. Get rid of the Nomad, allow your flexibility when you're on the defensive side. You're gonna have to worry about Citizen, but that means that once again, like Ghassan said, Fox A has Jackal. Fox and Jackal on Villa are a very nice combo. Rolling in, and we're gonna go back to another tech pause here. So we got halfway on the operator bans.
Heyo.
And then we kind of gotta slow down here for a second.
And these map bans these operator bans are extremely regular. I mean, Maverick is insane on this map especially. And then Nomad, just to be able to shut down rotation. That's why Gridlock got instituted into the game, is because you needed somebody else when she did get removed that you could possibly put into the field. And Gridlock arguably is on par with her. I mean, the utility isn't obviously the same, but she still has a fantastic gun inside of the F90, and she's one of the most played 3 armors in the game on the offense.
Hey, we're back. There goes an echo on the bans. So we have one more operator ban to conclude here. This is Na'Vi's ban, and they're gonna round it out with Amira. Okay. We're not getting too inventive with the defensive bans here. We do have a Maestro in play instead of an Echo this time on Villa. And for Na'Vi as well, starting on the defense, like I said, you're going to be slightly favored here, but we've seen an equalization over time. It's not as defensive-sided as it used to be. You know, 4-2 half might be a little bit more normal, but we've seen a lot more 3-3s. Teams are really starting to figure out how to attack, especially when teams have to go to that tertiary bomb site, whether it be living room and library or dining room and kitchen. This is, I actually don't recall seeing a Villa so far played throughout the event. So I might be wrong on that one.
I have not, no, we haven't seen one. And actually, just to tag onto that along with you, the last time that Reciprocity played this map was all the way back on September 24th inside of PL. They played Evil Geniuses on it and lost 7-5. So that would be their one loss. And then you still obviously have the 1 win and 1 tie, but that's all within the last 6 months for them. So not very much VOD to go over, Flynn.
No, not a lot of odds for either of these teams on this map. And this is Reciprocity's map choice, like I said earlier, and like you can see in the top left-hand corner of all of your screens. I imagine Reciprocity, if they were going to choose to make it their pick, they've been working on some things in the background. Na'Vi on the defense, a lot of flexibility here. We have the Mozzie coming out back again. We have Kendrew on the Valkyrie this time, and we have Nello over to the Maestro. A lot of fun yesterday, especially on that gridlock, like you mentioned, especially on Coastline against Wildcard.
Oh, man. Telling you, my friend, that's going to be, that might be the best clip of this entire LAN so far. That was so very impressive by Nello.
I will say the bomb site choice, a little interesting. We're starting off dining room and kitchen to begin things for the defensive rotation here for Na'Vi. Then again, they also started Teller's Archives on Consulate on the defense, and Retro is going to start things off onto Citizen. Oh no, that's your top fragger by a wide margin on Consulate, removed from play early. We'll have to see if Skies can keep up that kind of pace. Same thing with Citizen, or will this be more of a team match?
Yeah, and you can see things have already shifted up quite a bit. I talked a lot about laxing on IQ on Consulate, and you're more than likely going to see the reason why. Laxing is scary as hell on this operator. He might not have the highest headshot percentage. I feel like a lot of people feel like your headshot percentage all of a sudden turns into kills as saves headshots Retro, but Laxing doesn't need that. Laxing just kills you. If you're going to gunfight Lax, you're more than likely going to lose it. He's very dominant inside of his ones, and it doesn't take a headshot to prove that.
So the remaining 4 members of Reciprocity will coalesce upstairs. Opening up the Astro hatch now will be Fox A as the Jackal Pains continuously ring out onto Kendrew, avoiding the Hellfire from above from Fox A, making a punch hole to watch for any flanks coming out, and he's actually able to deal a little bit of damage to Kendrew, down to about 65 HP there for the Valkyrie. Waiting for the flank to come. They do have a Mozzie drone coming in. It's placed into the hallway. Sky spots it for a moment, but is unaware that it's not a friendly drone. So that'll be some more intel as an attempted flank up the red stairs here, I believe, by either Kendrew or Pi. Will be attempted by Na'Vi. Try and quell the top control. They do have a bit of soft destruction with Laxing with some breaching charges, and they do have Fox A with that secondary shotgun. But the reconstruction hasn't been a priority so far, and Laxing's actually downstairs hunting for Kendrew as the Jackal tries to come out again. The pre-fires to the soft wall, but Kendrew will dart away in the nick of time.
Very, very scary instance for Kendrew. He gets tagged up just a touch, but I believe that was upstairs inside of kitchen where that happened. Less than 1 minute remains on the board. Reciprocity has top map control, which is exactly what you want for this site, but they still have a lot of work to be done. Still need to be able to take over tarps and then get in towards the actual site. First bit of soft destruction through the flooring is going to happen by Mark. They don't have a buck to be able to handle this because they more than likely did not think that they would be going to this site. This is a perfect instance of being able to throw off your opponent. Skies, though, going to get some Kairos down, recognizes out that he's more than likely going to get Evil Eye, but Fox A on the other of the map finds Kendrew on rotation, and all of a sudden Reciprocity has man advantage. They need to get this diffuser down, though, which means they need some presence on site. They try to cut him off through the rotate. Will it be a kill? No, it'll be a down at least. Can he catch him on the rotation through the whole of kitchen? They're fighting fire with fire. Fox with a double, but no, he gets chewed up. Who has the diffuser? It doesn't even matter. Reciprocity goes for the blade instead of the plant.
Reciprocity able to win their opening attack onto dining and kitchen. Like I said, that's a weird bomb site for Na'Vi to start off on. They did start, like I said, on Teller's Archives on Consulate, but that's one of your more vulnerable bomb sites to defend on Villa. So Na'Vi is going to swap things up rather swiftly here and head over towards Trophy and Statuary. So same side of the map, just upstairs instead of downstairs. Some operator swaps there, but in the previous round, honestly, that opener from Retro, a big difference maker. Oh my, just laying in the anticipation, honestly, from Retro to watch and wait for Citizen to go for that peek, and a beautiful shot there from Saves. So we didn't get to see that one live. Honestly, this Jackal, though, is going to be so oppressive from Foxay round after round after round. Obviously, Na'Vi will have it to their availability when they get onto the attacking side. But honestly, it's a difference maker, and it's really going to slow down the possibility for Citizen to make those spectacular plays, those elusive plays. A very slippery player. It's hard to lock him down, but when you have that Jackal, it's so much easier. But as I say that, Foxay is going to abandon the Jackal 1 round in. He's going to head to the Dokkaebi.
Not a bad exchange for Reciprocity, and their offensive side's looking a lot better on Villa. Nice methodical take, but they still have the objective in their sights. The issue with their last Consulate takes, especially in the beginning, was that there was really no right or reason to what they were doing. They were kind of just walking aimlessly into bullets, and well, that's how you run up 4 rounds very quick on a defensive side, is just allow the offense to just walk aimlessly. You shoot them, and it's basically like shooting fish in a barrel. There wasn't really much fight back from Rec when it was on that offensive side of Consulate. But now that they're over on Villa, things have changed up a little bit, and hopefully they can continue to force this back. Na'Vi, though, need to change up the game plan. Citizen getting quite aggressive early on, which isn't a bad thing. He's proven that he is well within his right to be able to attempt that.
The big thing here for me for Na'Vi is making sure that it's not just the Citizen show again, and a little bit of that applies to Reciprocity as well. Pi gonna lose about 25 health inside of Astronomy through that punch hole made by Mark. Quick entry there, and honestly, both of these teams need to step up entirely in Retro, making amends for a map that was quite forgettable on Consulate. Starting things off with 2 entry kills here on Villa. 1 onto Citizen and 1 onto Nello. So there goes the Legion extremely early on. Still have the Thatcher to get rid of what remains of his utility strewn across the map, and pushing swiftly into the bathroom now with just over a minute burnt on the time control. This is a good spot to be in for Reciprocity.
And Nello with some botched positioning there. 1:45 left on the clock, so plenty of time for Reciprocity to handle what needs to be handled. Gonna start the work on the Master Wall. Some EMPs pour in, gonna get rid of a camera, and both of the X-Kairos pellets are going to go off. So that's going to be an open Master Wall now. Facing into Statuary, concussion pours in, gonna get rid of some barbed wire, and plant a Claymore for his leisure. Doesn't have to watch flank anymore unless he hears somebody shoot that Claymore, and hears it pop. Another set of X-Kairos are going to go off to establish even more lines of sight, but this time it's going to go more towards the top. Retro is more than likely going to be the one to hold the cross over into Trophy. And this makes it extremely difficult for movement in between sites. You're now staring through the Astronomy Hall in between the 2 sites, as well as have a long line of sight across the opening in the floor to see into Trophy. If anyone stands up, they're more than likely going to lose their head for it.
Rec had the pace to push in, but Citizen will take down Skies, looking for even more now, but he'll engage with Mark, and Mark will be taking the brunt end of that engagement. More shots will rattle off towards the door frame, but the drone had missed Kendrew tucked inside of the master door to Statuary. I don't think anyone is well the wiser, and there goes Retro, looking for even more now will be Kendrew. Mark wary of a flank through. Installed out will be Foxay and Laxing, pushing up to the Astronomy stairs, but not looking the correct direction will be Saves, as Mark will take his head off for him. There goes the MPX rattling off, and another one for Kendrew, lazing in towards Foxay, taking constant damage, hitting the deck to try and hit the prone angle, but Foxay needs to blow out the Legion Mine with 15 seconds remaining. No diffuser as it's lost at that master doorway, and Kendrew prone on 10 HP will be able to cover. Pile will collect it for 3 on the round, and Na'Vi will respond right on back, equalizing at 1-1.
Fantastic play from Na'Vi. A little bit of a misplay from Nello, just didn't really understand where the rest of Reciprocity was. There was that gunfight through the closet into Astronomy that happened, so we assumed that he knew their location, but apparently not. The rest of Na'Vi will make good on their promise, though, and win out the round. So I don't believe we're going to be seeing the Kitchen anytime soon. They're more than likely going to go over to Aviator, and that's exactly what we're going to see. But throughout that round, we had some very nice shots, and Citizen to start us off on for their kills. Mark being able to trade things back, but overall a decent take from Reciprocity. They had the right idea, they just were not able to find the kills in order to get the diffuser down. A little bit of a misplay, not recognizing out that Na'Vi are going to be reactive once you get that wall open. There's only a few safe spaces inside of the rooms now, and one of them is going to be aggressive up towards the master door, and Na'Vi is not one to back down from taking an aggressive angle.
Well, the drone had missed Kendrew, sitting right tucked inside the door frame from Master to Statuary, and Retro tried to push in, thinking it was clear for an attempted plant after they had picked off saves. Once the smoke had gone down, they felt freedom to try and attempt a plant and hold for the post. But unfortunately, one missed drone, one missed call, and it shakes up the entire fate of the round. Reinforcements going onto the opposite side of the walls here. This is something that we saw all the way back in Milan, with the thermite charge going inside that destroyed wooden barricades, or the wooden beams on the reinforced walls that were evading the impact tricking. We haven't seen a whole lot of impact tricking coming either, especially with Nello's early opening death in the Legion, the only person available to take impacts. And no bandit tricking coming up from Kendrew either. He gets stalled and pushed off by that flurry of flashbangs that came over the wall. So not a whole lot that Na'Vi could do to stall out the breaching. And honestly, that's the name of the game on Villa, is how well you can contest the walls.
Absolutely, and that also comes with kind of a meta shift inside of impacts. And it's not because impacts aren't effective anymore, it's because of the shift in what operators have those impacts. Legion is the main one now that has impacts, and as well as Maestro, who strangely enough got impacts as well, when everyone really thought that he was, you know, pretty well for wear, but apparently they also wanted to shift that over. And it's actually proven to be that you actually have to ask someone to take impacts now, or take an operator with impacts, whereas it used to be you routinely had, you know, 2 sets at all times. So you really have to try and set your defense up to have those at your disposal. We are going to have Na'Vi shift Kendrew over to a clash. We've seen her show face a couple of times throughout this series so far. I believe this is going to be roughly the 3rd time. Reciprocity going to be going for a north to south clear, starting their attack inside of Master. Oh! That's a shot from Retro. Doesn't even blink, doesn't even care. The round's not done yet, and that's all that Reciprocity is determined on. This is their map choice this time around. Sky's recognizing out that there is a clash inside of 90, and this could be a very bad spot for Kendrew to be at. He has a hatch. Concussions now allocated to the lifeline for Mark. Obviously has control of 2. Impact 1 pours in. Somebody needs to take the gunfight. They're waiting for the second. He knows 2 people are there. That's going to be plenty of bullets when it's... Oh, no! Bye! A double kill with the Nitro cell, and all of a sudden, Rec thought that they had the round in the bag, but Na'Vi comes back.
Remaining members for Reciprocity now separated, laxing inside a study, doing battle now with a member of Na'Vi. I believe that's Pi on the south stairs, pushing through 90 Hall. Will be Retro, the man carrying the diffuser. The insurgents from Reciprocity down through 90, clearing out Kendrew on the clash. It was a beautiful execution and demonstration of teamwork, but unfortunately, that Nitro cell blows their plans sky high. Laxing now wrapping back in around the rotate made. Saves on 5 HP, able to dart behind the bar. Laxing pouring in, but Nello has his cover. Retro alone now, returning fire onto the red stairs. Onto Pi, removing the Valkyrie from play. 20 seconds left. The smokes continue to pour into his doorway. He's going to have to go for the flank all the way down the 90 hallway onto the opposite side towards bar. Waiting for saves in behind the bar, holding close to the SMG-11. The pre-fires with 8 seconds left into the vault will not connect. And there goes Nello again, shutting him down. And Reciprocity, looked like they had the clean sweep there. Retro 3 for 3 on opening kills. But a beautiful reaction there. Pi and all of Na'Vi responding.
Nello, cool, calm, and collected for this Na'Vi roster, as he always is. He's always that backbone of the site that you still have to worry about, and he does such a good job of playing supporting angles, and that's exactly what Na'Vi did. Play smoke in behind bar, use those toxic babes, but at the end of the day, if he tries to get aggressive, we have an Alda lying in wait for him. Great play from Na'Vi, and specifically Pi. That was an insane Nitro cell to open up the doors of success for Na'Vi. Reciprocity, though, need to try and link some more rounds together. Usually when you go into a map, you select a map because you're good on it on defense, not on your offense, especially with a map like Villa, which is defensive sided. If Reciprocity can link together 3 rounds here, this could be huge for them. Nice little fact here from our friends over at Siege GG. Reciprocity has been strong in their Villa attacks, winning 62% of offensive rounds in recent history. So, kind of countered what I said, but that's perfectly fine. Doesn't really matter. If they do go up 4-2 on Villa, that's all the better. You're poised to definitely win the map then, because again, this map does tend to trend towards the defensive side. We aren't going to have too much of a shakeup on the defense. We will have Legion brought instead. Did not see him last time, but the offense going to stay relatively the same. Laxing's still going to be rocking the IQ. We'll have the Jackal in play, and Zofia will be rounding out our aggressive side of the operator lineup.
Well, I just must say, I'm very impressed with Retro's play so far here on Villa. I believe he was 1 in 10 at one point on Consulate. It was a forgettable game for Retro on the support play. Obviously, as a support player, it's not always your job to get kills, but I mean, 1 in 10 is a scoreline you really just don't want to bring up ever. 3 for 3 on opening picks on Thatcher, though. I'm really impressed with Retro's instigation, honestly, on this map. He's setting the tone for all of Reciprocity, and they're following suit right along with him. For Reciprocity attacking towards the top 4 once again, this is Kitchen and Dining. A return here for Na'Vi, the one round that they've lost so far here on Villa. They notice that there's nothing stalling them on the wall, but Skies has free entry, no one challenging Jukebox door into Laundry. They have a drone in place, no one going for impact tricking, so... I mean, you can still vault it. It's doable.
I was going to say, you're the support player here.
You can still vault it.
When I see that, I just go, oh no.
It's a little botched, but you can still vault it.
That works, okay. Thank you, Habana Expert. We appreciate you and your input on the matters that are at hand. Reciprocity still have plenty of time. Going to recognize out that Nello's playing inside of Tarps, and more than likely want to dispatch him quickly. He definitely was a thorn in their side the last time around, but not on this site in particular. Reciprocity really ran roughshod all over round 1, and that's exactly why they have that 1 round allocated to their round 1 slot. But Na'Vi with a quick 1-2 back, currently in the lead. Defensive set for them been working out decently well, but hasn't paid off in spades just yet. Still have to link together quite a few rounds in order to make this applicable for themselves. That's going to be a Jackal track, but it's not going to be the one that we would want if we could choose. We definitely want the Legion that's currently over inside a living room. It's going to be a quick move for Skies, but saves, puts him down. Oh no, it's all falling apart for Reciprocity as Laxing soon to meet the same fate. Pre-fire for Mark as he works his way into the dining room, but it's trades back and forth, and not even trades. It's so one-sided. Na'Vi! It's Mark all alone in sight. He has to do it with a 1v5. He could possibly try and go save Lax, but he's inside a bicycle. That's not a place that you want to be. 38 seconds remain. He's now getting marked by a well-placed Valkyrie camera, and that's going to be a flawless round for Na'Vi.
Make it 3 in a row so we continue the streaks here in this matchup. Na'Vi began with 4 in a row on Consulate before Reciprocity responded with 4 in a row of their own. It looked like it was going to be a Reciprocity team continuing their momentum coming over from Consulate on that 8-7 victory. But Na'Vi, in typical fashion, they cleaned up their act after round number 1, as they did also lose the first map yesterday to Wildcard that then ran both maps back. For Reciprocity here, honestly, didn't hate a lot of what I saw from the attack there. It came down to those gunfights and the positioning. Lack of intel was a big difference maker, though. They were trying to push him without the drones, and that's something that they've been employing to pick up the pace, which we've been asking for, so you can't have your cake in 82. But unfortunately there, Na'Vi learning from the mistakes of past rounds that they had lost. It's going to lead to attack timeout for Reciprocity here, and it's going to force Na'Vi back upstairs to Trophy and Statuary. Reciprocity really needs to throw a kink into the rotation of defenses here.
The issue is for Reciprocity in that last round is that they didn't go for the same attack that they did on their first round that they won. There was no top presence. Right when Skies got access to Laundry, they just tried to pressure Laundry as well as Tarps, and it didn't work out for them. There was plenty of Na'Vi members strewn across the map inside of Living Room and everything else to counter a collapse to happen on Tarps. So without that information, Reciprocity walks in blind and gets completely obliterated. They need to bring it back to center. That's probably why the tactical timeout was brought in from Hopes. Just, hey, that's a flawless round. Let's shut this down real quick. We need to talk this out. Let's bring this back to what we know and what was successful the first time.
Well, I mean, it's something you employ when you run that strategy, when you're trying to barrage in through Tarps and through the main hallway with no Laundry presence from the defense, and especially with how little top floor presence is being brought by Na'Vi. They're playing for the flank. If you can start panicking Na'Vi, that's what happened the last time around, is they eventually rotated upstairs, but they tried that same kind of thing where you force Na'Vi to either quickly flank up or quickly flood back into Memorial. You can catch them on a rotate there. It's a pretty, honestly, commonly used strategy from a lot of teams on Villa when attacking towards Dining and Living Room. Unfortunately there, the retake was pretty successful for Na'Vi, which is not something that I've been saying a whole lot today, especially on Consulate. So for Rec there, like I said, don't hate what I saw. It just didn't work out like they planned. They've now dropped 3 in a row, so it's time to stop the bleeding and get back into the game.
All right, well, moving on from that, we will be going, I believe, upstairs to Trophy, I do believe. We can get back to the regular camera here, I'll be able to tell you. I can't really tell the measurements from here. It does appear that we will be upstairs, yeah, as everyone is poised on this end, so obviously that telegraphs to us that, hey, we are going to be on Trophy statuary. Last time around, Reciprocity had a pretty good take on this site. They just had a couple of issues that eventually blew up in their face, and the main one was they didn't have any information inside of statuary. So Natus Vincere was able to rotate closer to the master door than Reciprocity really liked them to be, and Na'Vi won off of some heroic plays, especially with Citizen on a very long angle through the holes that were made by Reciprocity with those Skyros pellets.
Well, that's a bit of a wasted utility there for Na'Vi. Obviously, drones exist. They do have a Thatcher, so that's an evil eye thrown to the wayside there for Na'Vi, being tucked inside these arches windows inside of Master on the left-hand side. Quickly dispatched of by Retro, and didn't get the opening pick last round, Retro, so he's 3 for 4. He can't really complain on that one. He is the support player, but opening pick will go to the side of Na'Vi, trying to continue the run that they're on. It's a Nitrocell to dispatch a Sky, so there goes your Hard Breacher as well. Something that was so simple for Reciprocity last time around won't be conducted at all, which was opening up the walls. They had a full statue wall open from Master side. No one really contesting for Na'Vi. No Bandit trick coming out from Kendrew when he was on the Bandit last time they defended here. No impact tricking coming from Nello when he was on the Legion. Now they don't have to worry about breaching at all. They should know based on the last time around when Skies was on Hibana attacking this site that that's the Hibana down. You don't have to worry about breach. They're still going to thatch the wall, just get the Bandit batteries off for the fun of it. But now you got to focus on barraging in through Bathroom. It's an Astro overload that will really be the difference maker for Reciprocity on this one. Can you push in cleanly, or are you going to get caught off by some angles? They're able to bait out the second Nitrocell on the side of Na'Vi, though, and the stun canisters come pouring in.
Going to try and pressure from Astronomy stairs here, as Flynn just said. You have to overload it. Laxton's going to get very aggressive. He doesn't have a Legion to worry about, but obviously he doesn't know that, so he's going to switch over to the Electronics Center real quick just to check it out. 5.52 Commando in hand. He goes in for the aggressive peek here. Does he recognize out where he is? He pre-fires a hole in the desk, but that's not exactly where he is. He's a little bit farther off to the left-hand side. He's actually going to deal a lot of damage to Mark. Oh no, it's going to be the Toxic Babe to finish him off. Laxton trades it out though. Can he get 2? He can! Oh no, Laxton's starting to warm up, and this could be very dangerous for Na'Vi. This is not what you want to see. They still need to get this plant down though. It's in the hands of Retro. They have control of Trophy, but do they have full control? No, they don't. Citizen as well as one more inside. Save falls off. It's a 1v2 now, and Na'Vi shuts it down, and that's going to be 4 straight rounds for them, and no more tack timeout to bail out Reciprocity.
Tough break there for Rec as they lose the Hard Breacher early as the opening pick to a Nitrocell, and you got to go contingency plan at that point. They did what I wanted them to do, which was overload Astro, but unfortunately, just beautiful work there from the Valkyrie inside of Astro to continuously fight on back, and the support from the smoke as well. That Toxic Babe coming into that bathroom door. Difference makers on the round, and honestly X factors for Na'Vi right now. The teamwork seems to be becoming much more alive. It was Nello launching it over the wall, so this guy's just getting a little too close to the wall there, unfortunately, leaving himself open. Nice angle there from Laxton though to take down the member playing inside a statuary of Nello. But yeah, Pi inside of Astro being honestly a thorn in the side of all of Reciprocity to slow them down and make sure that there was no potential swift entry into Astronomy, and then saves again on the support with the smoke grenades. Excellent teamwork there for Na'Vi, sets them up for a 4-1 lead. They could head into the half 5-1, but after losing that first round, honestly, Reciprocity's attacks looked good. They still have looked good. Villa's just one of those maps. Honestly, Reciprocity's usually better at attacking, like we saw from the stat line, and Villa itself is coming closer to the mid-ground. Just looks like Na'Vi is firing on a cylinder that they weren't on Consulate.
Yeah, and for Na'Vi, they are doing a couple of things just a touch out of the ordinary that really doesn't happen inside of North America. That could always be the issue that Reciprocity is dealing with, because as we saw, Na'Vi doesn't really play this map that much either. It's not their most played map. Obviously, a VOD you can go back and watch, but it's always different when you're inside of a LAN environment. You're going to see things pulled out that have been worked on for 6 months, a year, that they just haven't had to reach far enough inside of their bag in order to pull out just yet. Reciprocity, though, they need to win this round. A 4-2 split is not that bad on Villa. 3-3 is obviously where you want to be at, but 4-2 is still doable from the defensive side. And again, you usually choose your maps based on how good you are on defense. So knowing that information, Reciprocity could actually run things up on Na'Vi here. We could have a complete remake of what happened the last time around. Laxing going to have a very intelligent cannons out of Astronomy. Haven't seen that one used in a while.
So last time around, it was Pi's Nitro Cell that really defanged this push here from Reciprocity. That Nitro Cell from Pi taking 2 lives with him, as well as Nello joining in with the Alda. It was a clean sweep there to get rid of Kendra the Clash in 90. This time they'll dispatch the Evil Eye that was placed in the same position as last time around, but no Kendra to contend with. So no 90 window presence just yet. As I say that, here comes Nello and here comes Kendra turning the corner. Laxing's going to make it all the way up to top red, though. And pulling out the SMG-9 will be Kendra trying dispatch of a drone. Pre-fires from Mark for caution, just in case Kendra decides to peek with that secondary SMG sidearm. A lot of intel being gathered here for Reciprocity, but 3 members for Na'Vi all congregate inside of this hallway, trying to contest for the 90 control. That'll be up to Skies to come in if they want to breach 90, but it was a bit of a split push last time around. The last 2 remaining members when they were attacking this site were Retro and Laxing, 1 in Study and 1 at 90. Seems like Reciprocity have ideas of accomplishing 2 separate tasks at the same time. Pi is downstairs, evading any kind of roam clear right now. Foxay hasn't been able to jackal track him out. Here come the stun canisters in. They're going to burn both, but not swing when the shield is to the side. Bit of a waste of utility there for Reciprocity, but I think they're baiting right now, Na'Vi is, to allow Nello to stay on the ground and continue to prone peek, but it seems like Mark is well aware of this, not landing any damage through that bookshelf turned over. 90 control looking very good here for Na'Vi, constantly stalling out, and now Team Reciprocity turning their attention towards the aviator door.
Well, they have 90 control now as everyone's bailed back to site, and that's exactly what they need. Only 30 seconds left, though, and obviously no Maverick, so they can't make quick work of any of these reinforced walls. They're going to have to do it the old-fashioned way with the X-Kairos pellets and an EMP grenade. Retso's going to take a little bit of damage as he's sitting on bust. Looking in towards gun vault door. Skies with the first kill on a save. That's huge. That's going to be the smoke off the board, but he's going to take quite a bit of damage. Mark to tag one up. He tries to rotate in, but Kendrew, of all people, will trade it back. No, it's Mark. He's been capitalizing on every single opportunity he's been thrown towards. Pi to battle back, and they need to get this diffuser down, but no, from underneath. They're stopping it all. Mark doesn't have the time, and Na'Vi! Oh my! That's 5 straight rounds.
They lose the first one on a risky take downstairs to dining room and kitchen, and they run it right on back 5 in a row. This is looking eerily similar to yesterday's contest for Na'Vi against Wildcard, in which they lost the first map of Cafe 7-5. And then all of a sudden, they get shot out of a cannon on Coastline. They win 7-1 to take Wildcard's map. This could be a run back as well, as both teams took each other's maps in that series between Na'Vi and Wildcard. Reciprocity took Na'Vi's map 8-7 on Consulate. We're waiting to see what the result is here on Na'Vi. Their attacking rounds will tell the tale of this game right now for Reciprocity, and honestly, their teamwork has looked incredibly impressive, but they haven't been able to roam clear Pi for a couple rounds now. He's been able to survive inside of Astronomy, downstairs with that Nitro Cell, constantly being a thorn and suppressing any plant opportunities, and even shots down through the floor on an attempted plant. There goes the second Nitro. Pi, honestly, he's been a little quiet so far here in Tokoname. Haven't seen a whole lot out of him in the series against Wildcard, and even on Consulate, obviously. It was the Skies and Citizen show, but he's stepping up big for his team when they need him.
Yeah, and what a way to shut down a plant. Just play for the default spot underneath, and that's why we call it default, because everybody knows where it is, and you usually know where it is vertically, you know, horizontally, doesn't matter. You always know where that spot's going to be, and you can always access it. This time around, it's going to be accessed by a couple of bullets and an explosion just for good measure, and Na'Vi rocking up 5 in a row. Can Reciprocity do exactly what they did on the last map? Can they make lightning strike twice? That's what they're going to need to do to bring it back on their map choice. Again, it seems like it's opposite, Dave Flynn. This exact same thing happened with Na'Vi yesterday. They lose their map, they win their opponent's map, then they win the game on map 3. Is Reciprocity going to fall to the exact same demise. Na'Vi making quick work of this clear. We're only 45 seconds in, and they've already pressured in towards benches. Some foot marks now coming through. That's going to be pressure inside of 90. That will be recognized out. Saves is already in towards Gunvault. He's waiting for the rotation. He shuts down Skies. He's waiting for the cross. They have to try and get back into sight. They have complete control. This is what we usually see from Reciprocity, but Mark's been downed as well. It's all the Na'Vi train as they're letting them know Daddy's home. As they've shut them completely out of their own sight, they've made it their own. The plan hasn't started just yet, but now Fox with a double to try and equalize. Citizen to fight back. He takes down Retro. Nello shutting down the mid-level here, and that's what they need to do in order to get this plant secured. It's going to be a Legion mine inside of his foot on the red stairs, or excuse me, main, as they'll start to plant on the reinforcement. Still plenty of time here, but no, Kendra's not even going to go for it. He's holding the bar door. Finally, as Nello's rotating over to shut it down on the rotate, he's going to find one. Laxing loses out the gunfight. It's going to be Fox to ace out in order to win the round and stunt them from going to map point. Stun grenades pour in. Fox has to challenge. Who's got the peak? It's a T95, and he can't do it. Na'Vi, 6 straight rounds.
We're going to run it all the way back as they did on Coastline against Wildcard yesterday. We saw the Na'Vi boys walking off the stage with faces of dejection and disappointment. And as they came back, they looked revitalized, a little more optimistic, a little happier on the faces. They came back and said, hey, we lost the first map yesterday. We can run it back just like we did 24 hours ago. For Na'Vi right now, you're in complete control, and that swift aggression into the bomb site, an excellent lockout, like you said. Foxe comes in with 2 big kills, but the retake unsuccessful for Reciprocity, and now Na'Vi in the driver's seat completely, looking to send us all the way to Clubhouse in a fit of fury. And should they win any time within the next few rounds, they will also have choice of side on, guess what decider map it is. It's Clubhouse, the same decider map we saw yesterday. Now Wildcard put up one hell of a fight against Na'Vi yesterday on Clubhouse for the decider, but starting on the defense is still going to be your best advantage to secure the series and set yourself up with a date with Dark Zero in just a few hours.
Yeah, Reciprocity might want to go back to the drawing board on Villa. I just don't think that they have it to really step to Na'Vi. And now you know why Na'Vi's record is 6-2 on this. No ties, they don't need those, but they'll definitely take the 6 wins for their leisure. Overall, that attack, just so well articulated. It was insane. I mean, again, they just walk into site. They already had all the pressure that they needed. They knew no one was playing on red stairs. They got benches as well as statuary for free. We're able to just walk into Aviator and take over the entire site. The only person that they had that could have possibly have shut them down was the man playing inside of Gunvault. And we all saw how that went. Saves wins the gunfight. You all now have complete control. Everyone has to try and run back to site. And as Flynn was talking about earlier, with these fast pushes, that's what you want them to do. You already have the rotations cut off. You get a ton of free kills, you get a free plant, and you get a free round.
He's going to run into some trouble here with Mark up at 90, trying to repel on the window. He'll be burning out the ADS that was placed with the flashbangs in the back pocket. I was honestly a little worried there that Mark might go for a jump out the 90 window there for a moment, but instead he opts to hold back and instead will challenge in towards Study, where Kendrew, the hard breacher, will be pushing in. Pretty swift entry here for Na'Vi into Study this time around instead of going for the far side take. Citizen holding for the flanks downstairs, making sure nobody's coming to nitrocell them sky high. Pi, the secondary hard breacher, will be positioned on the 90 window. He has an opportunity to open up that vault as well. Skies is the lone man to stop out the breaching, unless Fox is in position with the impact grenades to try and go for the trick, but no holes have been pre-made here for Reciprocity. So it's going to be all up to Skies on the Bandit, try and stall them out. He's got 2 Bandit batteries placed onto the walls facing in towards Aviator. The bar walls still remain empty for now, and as I say that, there we go. Bandit batteries being placed on, trying to do battle with Kendrew. The EMP comes out, and Kendrew will be placing on, and they'll stun lock him out to make sure they can open up the bar wall. Everyone has to peel on back, but 2 members for Reciprocity holding the south stairs with a rotate in. Kendrew, though, will get the opener onto Mark.
This is a setup that we first saw pulled off by TSM on this main stairs, but it gets shut down by Na'Vi. Laxing to fall as well. It's not going their way on their map choice. Is this going to be a 7-1 on Reciprocity on Villa? Again, You might want to go back to the drawing board here because Na'Vi is proving you wrong. Kendra gonna see his foot in behind the bomb chassis, but won't shoot him. It's a 2v5 in order for Reciprocity to stay alive here on map 2. They won map 1, so we're guaranteed a map 3, especially after that. Sky's locked down inside a gun vault. He doesn't have that many bullets inside of his gun, and Na'Vi, 7 rounds in a row.
Sacrificing the first round to take the next 7 to secure the victory on Villa. And ladies and gentlemen, we're going to Clubhouse.
When Nello walked by us, he looked at both of us and he laughed and he goes, "We lost the first map yesterday, it's fine, don't worry about it." And then they come back and then they just run 7 rounds up. So Nello didn't lie, he did not lie. They lost the first map yesterday, but did it matter? Did it really matter, Flynn?
No, and to decipher everything that's gone down on Villa and where we'll be heading to on Clubhouse, again, we need the boys on the desk to break it down for us. Have at it.
Thank you very much, Flynn. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the analyst desk. Yes, close as hell is this series, and we're going to go to map 3 as predicted here on the desk. Sometimes, yes, we are correct in what we believe, but that was a much more one-sided map 2 compared to what we had on Consulate, gentlemen.
You don't say.
Well, you know, I'm the host here.
We kind of saw the same yesterday where Na'Vi drops the first one and then comes back really, really strong. But that was surprising. Really surprising.
It's interesting, going into that map, Reciprocity's success on Consulate was really on the back of that fluid roam game, the flanks, banned the Nomad to help that. They decided to do the same here. On Villa, Nomad is a force to be reckoned with, but even in that last round, that was a perfect example of how ineffective Team Reciprocity's roamers could be. There was just no ability for them to have an impact. Occasionally we'd see a C4 through the floor, but when that was successful, it was on Na'Vi's own defense.
You say that, but then you look at the roam play from Reciprocity in map 1, completely the complete different side of the coin. It was so odd to watch after Consulate.
You have to remember they didn't get to do a lot of defense rounds. So
that's very true, which is a bit surprising. Like, honestly, it's not unusual to see Villa end 5-1 at the half, right? Defense is just very, very strong on the map. It is the most defender-sided map in the 7-map pool. You go to the other side and like, okay, this is when the defender's going to start racking rounds up. But no, it didn't stop there. Reciprocity just failed to hold on to their defense. They tried its best to stay in the gun vault, but it ultimately failed.
So I'm always a guy that'll say it doesn't matter what side you start on if you can keep your mental fortitude all right. If you know it's an attacker-sided map, defender-sided map, what have you, you go in on the unfavored side, you're down 5-1, 4-2, no matter, you can come back from that. We saw Na'Vi do that against G2 on Consulate during the season. Team Reciprocity, everyone knows they are quite an emotional team. They absolutely breathe momentum, and when they don't have that going for them, it really struggles. I think their lack of success on their defense there is just because they started on attack where they were completely confounded.
I'm with you to a certain point, but if you collect all the defense round or you really, really get ahead, anything but a 4-2 split on Villa, there is so little room for failure. And even if you're the calmest person in the world, one missed shot and your entire attack or defense falls apart and you end up losing one round and now you're on match point.
Well, you know, because we got so deep into map 1 and map 2 was such a runaway victory for Na'Vi, they actually will be the ones that get to pick their starting side on map 3. So this is map 3 overtime if we get to that. So it's an advantage. It definitely is. With a series like this, it definitely can go to it. But that was map number 2. I will head over to Mr. Devin. We'll come back and chat a bit about map 3 coming up, so collect your thoughts. I know you're already ready. James, as always, has a few stats for us to show. We'll be right back. Please, ladies and gentlemen, follow me over here to one of my favorite parts of this desk. Devin, please, walk us through. What's the theme for this?
The theme is that Na'Vi could already be in a 2-0 situation, having won, except for some mistakes that cost them 3 rounds on Consulate that they tried to adapt to. And I'm going to kind of highlight those a little bit here and break down. And it's all about the garage attacks that we saw 4 times in total here. And this is the second time, the time that they lost it, a second time in a row. Now, they set up these Habana holes. This is the important part. They are a team, and they use this strat a lot against G2 when they managed to make the win to help make sure that they got here and G2 did. But the problem with this is they have to sneak in and get that defuse plant down. They are very good at that. The huge problem is defending it afterwards. You see what happens here? Fox sees an opportunity, goes right on over, and he's able to just sit in a spot and defuse this. This is the second time in a row it happens. So this strategy is great for getting a plant down, terrible for holding it. As you can see, I know the frustration in your face as Kenju sits there unable to do anything, just completely ineffective because they don't control yellow stairs. You see them make the smart adaptation. Now, okay, we lost this twice. We're going to go with Thermite finally. They finally do it. You can see the big Thermite holes here in this case. They've got these open. They're able to defend it this time. They get the plant down. They are successful in being able to hold it. You see a similar situation where they're able to get someone down in here. In this case, though, Skies is able to play over here, and yet they still are able to hold it because of the retake situation so difficult. It's a little bit unfortunate, though, for Skies. You can see him come around just at the wrong moment. He tries to make a play here. He's got potentially the angle onto the fuse planter, but just too little too late, and that's always frustrating for a smoke player in general. But here's the big problem for me. They lost it twice. They adapted. They won it once. What do? They go back to Hibana play. This was a huge mistake. They do the same thing again. It absolutely succeeds in getting the plant down again. But that doesn't matter if you let them defuse it. They end up in a situation where, guess what? They get countered, as you see there just a moment ago, by the Echo drone. The reason is, this isn't just about retake now. They're predictable. The problem with this is you have to sneak in to one specific spot because you can only open up that one specific spot with the Hibana holes. Their situation again, you've got Skies this time not on smoke, but he's still in a position to help deny this. Retro playing the smoke as well, combined with the Echo, they're able to completely deny this as long as possible with a combination of the Yokai and the smokes. And unfortunately, Citizen, who'd been controlling this, you see him come around too little, too late at the very end to try and stop this.
This is all Fox in this situation. You see him running back. He collected the 2 kills that allowed Reciprocity to grab this round. You talked about yellow control. That was lost purely because of Fox's play. You can have this strategy all you want, but if yellow isn't held, this is just so weak.
And Na'Vi could be getting ready for the grand finals right now had they not made this mistake 3 times.
All right, Devin, thank you very much for shedding light, a bit more light than what was shed through these Hibana holes on here. We'll be back to you for our grand final, maybe our map 3 here at the end of it, if we have just enough to talk about. Thank you again. Thanks, Emzo. We'll be right back here on the desk. Here we are. It's a bit of cardio for me, right? I need those 2 tests. I work out, bro. Like, okay, we're back on here. We talked about our second map, our first one as well, in detail with Emzo with those pushes into garage. Let's talk about our third. Villa went Navi's way very handily. Clubhouse, for a lot of people arguing this, very similar to Villa when it comes to controlling the heart breach. And in Clubhouse, you can't make many mistakes or else you'll just have to rush into site and hope for a plant.
It's also not as open for roaming. It's a way more structured map in terms of what you're allowed to do and what you're not allowed to do. I mean, you can go for these deep roams. If you play basement, you can hide some people upstairs, but it's extremely dangerous to do, and you can very easily get caught.
This is a crowd that's ready for map 3. I can hear it! Arigatou gozaimashita, Japan, thank you very much for all this. It's been a fantastic crowd, and we still are not done with our second match of the day. We still have a grand finals after this as well. James, what do you expect on here?
Clubhouse isn't a map that, when you think Reciprocity, when you think of their playstyle, all these nomad bans, all this roaming, Clubhouse is a map where you have to be meticulous on your utility. It's all about counter that bandit trick, get that wall open, whether it's downstairs, make sure that you can get those hatches open, have a good execute. That's not what we really know Reciprocity for, especially on the defensive side in order to prevent that. It's not something we typically see from them. When we look at their operator bans as a stark difference, they do much more normal bans, hard breaches, Maverick, Hibana, rather than that Nomad to try and enable that roam game. What I do want to see from Reciprocity is some new interpretations of Clubhouse. Use that castle, which they're so fond of, to enable a lot of roamers. Something we've seen teams like Fnatic experiment with in the past is putting castle barricades around those main stairs to prevent any kind of control of bar of the attackers from getting those rotations all the way downstairs. If you want to roam upstairs in cash and bedroom, you rotate all the way down the main stairs back to the basement without dying because you have that castle. I want to see some new interpretations. I want to see something from Reciprocity to make me impressed.
Predictions.
I've got to say, I've had a feeling this whole time that Na'Vi's going to take it.
I'm still on the Na'Vi. I think it's going to be a little bit closer than Villa, hopefully. But I think we're going to see default bans, unfortunately. Although I'm with you on, I want to see Reciprocity do something insane.
All right, gentlemen, thank you very much for all of that. We have one more map in our second and last semifinal. Who goes to the grand final to join Dark Zero? We'll know in just a few minutes. It's map number 3, Clubhouse, Reciprocity versus Navi, Hajime!
Thank you very much, Gassan, and welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We got one more map to decide who is getting a date with Dark Zero. We head to Clubhouse, no big shock. Navi picks to start on defense as the crowd erupts. I can't honestly tell. I think it's a split crowd tonight. Navi starting on the defense, Reciprocity starting on the attack. We had to go the absolute distance on Club yesterday for Navi and Wildcard. Will we need to go the distance again for Navi and Reciprocity? I do agree with the desk in saying that, you know, Navi should probably start off to a hot start here, given that Reciprocity's, I don't know, more rambunctious style of play, if I could put it that way, isn't really going to translate too well to Clubhouse traditionally, but we saw it yesterday with Wildcard. They went down at the half 4-2 because Navi started defense, just like this exact same situation. It's almost a complete replica of yesterday's game against Wildcard for Navi. But Wildcard brought it back with 3 consecutive rounds to take the lead. As long as Reciprocity, regardless of what happens in the first half, whether you're winning after the first half, losing after the first half, tied, as long as you go in with the head held high and say, it's a mental reset and now we're on our strong side, they should be fine. We saw it yesterday with Wildcard to be able to really contend Navi on Club. Navi's defenses yesterday on Club, though, they looked incredibly strong. It'll be up to Reciprocity to see if they've done their homework watching that VOD from yesterday and previous VODs before. And we're going to start things off, continuing the trend of Navi starting on defense and starting on a weird site. We're going to go Gym Bedroom to start things off here on Club.
Yeah, and they're not going to pick the castle off rip, because that tells straight to their team, hey, we are going here. Castle really isn't used anywhere else. You don't want to give them the free information that they are going to Gym Bedroom in case Reciprocity wants to shift their lineup to that site. Now, going into this, you might be like, okay, Reciprocity, like, it's Clubhouse. You know, just go down the checklist. I really don't see Clubhouse being a very aggressive map. Well, you'd be wrong. Navi yesterday was lights out on this map, and that wildcard game was absolute insanity. If this is going to be half of the game yesterday, we are in for a treat.
Reciprocity is struggling to put together attacking rounds on Clubhouse, winning only 37% of their offensive rounds. While that may sound like not the greatest stat,
it's Clubhouse.
If you get 2 out of 6,
well,
that's 33.
Yeah,
so
above average.
Struggle, I mean, that's, I don't know, that's norm for me. That's a 4-2 half. I don't know, that doesn't really seem like a struggle that much. It is Clubhouse. Every team struggles. Okay, there's like 2 asterisks to that.
Umpire.
Yeah, but majority teams around the world, they will struggle with attacking rounds on Club.
Yeah, this map is extremely difficult to chop up. That's usually what tells you if a map is extremely difficult to attack or not. Can you isolate sections of the map easily? Can you? Okay, cool. Then that map's going to be easy to attack. Clubhouse is not a map that you can chop up very easily because there's a lot of different ways you can move throughout it. There's a lot of different pathing options, multiple staircases across the entire thing, ladders. I mean, what isn't there across this map where you can be able to transition through? And that's why, well, traditionally speaking, defenses play turtle on this map because there's a lot of ground to cover for offenses, and usually by the time that they get set up for an execute, it's very easy to botch because you only have about 45 seconds to get it off.
So starting on a Gym Bedroom defense, you'd anticipate seeing a bit of a cash hold that we were seeing yesterday, but seems like Navi want to swap things up and keep Reciprocity on their toes. Not going for a cash hold whatsoever. They left it all soft. They're not investing any utility there. And instead, they're opting to send some roamers downstairs. Reciprocity's been avoiding the roam clear for the most part, especially from Citizen, who's currently occupied with Bandit tricking the jacuzzi wall, but for the most part, I mean, this is a complete alteration for Navi in terms of their strategy based on what we saw 24 hours ago against Wildcard on this exact bomb site.
I'm really hoping that this is telling you how the Grand Finals are going to go. That Aerowolf game earlier, granted, it was still extremely exciting against Dark Zero. It just didn't have the round count to be able to tell you that. That was the thing. 2 7-3s in a row. Impact allocated underneath inside of stock, but Kendry's going to immediately evacuate the area, barricades the door behind him for good measure, just to make sure that no one possibly thinks that he went through there. Mark's going to take quite a bit of damage. Those impacts hurt quite a bit. If you get met with both of them, then you die because of the amount of damage that they do. They're not the most fun thing in the world. We've actually seen quite a few weird deaths this land with the lifeline because of that. Jacuzzi wall now going to be open for Reciprocity as they are finally putting pieces together on how they want to handle this gym bedroom take.
30 seconds on the collapse here. They've opened up Jacuzzi, and now collecting themselves on top of the master balcony. Citizen had an opportunity to bandit trick the wall, but time getting increasingly low here for Reciprocity, burning away, and it could be the death of them here. Still standing at a 5v5 with limited damage done as they all press in through Jacuzzi and construction at the same time. Turning the corner will be one, but no. Shut down in his tracks will be Kendrew. Citizen on one, but Retro with the trade. They have to go for the plant though, and Retro on 20 HP. Foxay continuing a reign of domination. Laxing now takes down saves. It's all Nello alone. They drop down the main stairs. Now the clutches one kill. The plant going down on the floor, but he's looking at the wrong ping. Plant completed for Reciprocity, and they all bail out for the post plant. Nello now alone, coming back up the main stairs on about 15 health. He's going to be spotted on the drone as well, so Mark instigated on the pre-fire, and there he goes to shut it down. Reciprocity. What an exclamation point to start off map 3.
That site was so difficult for Wildcard to take yesterday, and Reciprocity made it look like bread and butter going together. I mean, truly impressive stuff. Rip that Jacuzzi wall down, then immediately get into the area. There was all gas, no brakes on that take once they finally got everything set up how they wanted it. And I like how they isolated out logistics as well. Na'Vi a little bit too aggressive towards Jacuzzi wall, apparently just not thinking that anyone else was there, but luckily, Laxing was lying in wait outside. Otherwise, we could be telling a different tale.
It's a tough break there for Na'Vi. They've gone 1 for 3 now, starting maps on some awkward sites. Then again, they lost the first round on Villa by playing, you know, a tertiary bomb site that doesn't get played as often as some of the others on the map, and then they won 7 rounds in a row. So here for Na'Vi, I'm sure there's no stress, but if you're Reciprocity, your quota is 2 attacking rounds, and you've already got halfway there. You're pretty proud of yourselves on that round.
Well, now the main question is downstairs site for Na'Vi. Which side is Reciprocity going to try and attack? Are they going to go for the full hatches, try and drop blue, pressure mud, go for lockers, or are they going to go to another thing that we've been seeing come back to life that was gone for quite a while, the church take? You prioritize the church wall, you open it up, and plant behind the black box while isolating out blue from inside of Moto and keeping the long sightline locked down from the bottom of main stairs. It works out extremely well. There are some very weird instances, though, with some very awkward lines of sight that you can get from lockers into church that could spell disaster for Reciprocity if we get up to that point. We do not have any impact grenades on the defense, so no impact tricks going to be coming out. We could have a nitro cell sail over, which is extremely hard. You almost have to be pixel perfect to get it over the wall, but you can do it.
One of the most influential pivot points was Saves and Kendrew downstairs playing inside a church while defending the basement yesterday against Wildcard. Being able to contest the church wall even well after it's been opened, that was one of the points that Na'Vi had in spades that Wildcard had trouble contesting. And for Na'Vi here to be able to secure a defensive round downstairs, they're most likely anticipating that this church wall will be opened up. Wildcard was opting to take it with Hibana pellets prone onto the church wall. We'll have to see what Reciprocity want to elect and how they want to distribute their hard breaching utility. If they want to imp that strategy from Wildcard, or if they want to elect to use an exothermic charge from Retro instead onto the church wall. And this is already an alteration from what we saw yesterday, is that the Moto hatch is going to be opened up with the Hibana instead of the thermite here. No possibility for a trick as Nello's not within range, but there goes the nitro cell from Kendra to take down Skies. The Hibana successful in opening one hatch, and that's all he'll be responsible for the next minute 30.
And that's something you always got to worry about when you are opening those sites. Natus Vincere starting off in a slower tone this time around with their downstairs hold. Yesterday we saw them start off with a roam game up top that worked out very well with Mozzie, but we don't even have him in the cards. So Reciprocity going to lose Skies early, but he's already done one of his jobs, just could not possibly get open any other hatches. They do have another hard breach though in the likes of Retro. It seems like they are going to be going for the church take here, and that's really all you can do without the kitchen hatch being open.
Full reinforcement on the blue walls as well. We were seeing Na'Vi toy with some blue rotates while defending downstairs. Mark firing down through kill holes made for impact tricking, as Nello will take about 25 damage. Fox 8 pressing up on the church door through Moto. It's not going to spot anyone though, so they're playing on top of the bomb chassis. A Yokai drone will come over as well for any potential plant attempts, and Fox 8 not looking at the ceiling with the electronic sensor, but there goes Saves. A quick peek around the bomb chassis, collects the kill, and another one for Saves, lining them all up and knocking them down. It's all down to Laxing and Mark now as they push in from opposite angles. Dropping into blue will be Laxing. Constant battle in towards K9. Pushing the door for 3 on the round now is Saves. And locked in a trap now is Laxing in a 1v5. Hits the deck and shuts down Saves' Reigns of Terror. Now again having to deal with prone holes in towards blue. 12 seconds, no diffuser, gets 2 kills for the lock. But now pressing right up against the blue box, vaulting on over. Eventually shut down now by Pi. And Na'Vi respond in turn with a round of their own.
That's the thing about Laxing, he'll still make you hold your breath even though there's 8 seconds left on the clock and 3 people up. He hops the box, tries to get that last kill, but overall Na'Vi a very good showing, and specifically Saves able to take all of those one-on-ones with the SMG-11 and win every single one of them. It's a little bit of a squirrely weapon, but in the proper hands, it is one of the best guns in the game. Great damage margin, great rate of fire, and that's how you line them together. The only downfall to the gun is that you don't have that many bullets comparative to the other secondary SMGs. Well, moving on now to round 3, Na'Vi going to be shifting up bomb sites. We'll be going to CCTV, which they had huge trouble with yesterday. They just could not keep Garage locked down, multiple plants going down, and there was no way in hell that they could stop them. Botched nitro cells, the whole lot. It was just riddled.
Well, one of the biggest things about the game yesterday with Wildcard as well is that neither team could win a defense upstairs on CCTV Cache, but they were both nearly flawless on Gym Bedroom. So now we've seen a sacrifice Gym Bedroom defense here for Na'Vi. They go through the full rotation to go back to CCTV Cache. We'll see if their woes from yesterday will follow them into this match. A reminder for everyone who hasn't seen the first match already or isn't well aware, spoiler alert, 3, 2, 1. The meeting with Dark Zero is just around the corner for one of these teams. The conclusion of this map, we will know our finalists for the Season 10 Pro League.
You're such a nice guy, Flynn. Look at you, making sure that nobody yells at you on Reddit. Don't you always love that?
Hey, just covering my bases.
Hey, you gotta cover the bases, man. I respect it, trust me. Well, Reciprocity poised to take over Garage, and you can see the swarm of drones inside of stock as they clear Lounge. We actually do have a Kaid. It's gotta be Nello downstairs in Garage. So that means that they're going for the aggressive hold here. Yep, they have mute jammers down. You can't impact trick over this anymore. You used to be able to, but you can't now. So we're going to have Nello handle it with Electro Claws, and he's trying to stop Sky from being able to open up any of the paneling to get presence down low. Oh, a hot mark, and Nello is met with lead, and that is going to rip the life from his body. And all of a sudden, Reciprocity has man advantage. Frag grenade ricochets off the ceiling, but it's not going to be cooked properly and won't go off close enough to break anything.
This is the battle here from Mark to try and stall out the bandit trick attempts, as the Maverick is banned, so now you've really got to worry about what Kendrew can do on the wall. Taking away Nello, though, it's a beautiful start as it's lower Garage control here from Mark, and that's your one possible flank taken away. Mark has free reign downstairs with the skeleton key, but he turns into some shots. Looking down through the floorboards is Citizen with that 416. He's got 2 members of Reciprocity downstairs right now in Mark and Foxay. Lots of shots will rattle off, but Kendrew preoccupied with the man downstairs, and that will force a wall opening up once again. The woes from yesterday seemingly following Na'Vi into today here in the semifinals, as this wall was never stopped from being opened against Wildcard.
Well, Reciprocity was birthed in the fire of, well, really ranked and just aggressive playstyles in general, so this is nothing that they haven't seen before with the likes of Na'Vi, and that's why things are so hotly contested right now. It's just more counterplay after counterplay after counterplay between these two teams, and it's whoever's going to make the biggest misstep. They need garage control in order to get this diffuser down now, though. Oh, what an angle from Mark. That's a double for him on the round, taking down Pi and Nello, two big supports that no longer exist in round 3.
40 seconds, and they all start barreling into the garage with Pi being taken care of. Kendrew on the flank, though, downstairs. Multiple members for Reciprocity on drones. He's standing on top of a drone as well, waiting for it to flick on, and Saves will take down Skies. That's the Hibana carrying the diffuser in the rafters. He has 2 more for support, but here comes Kendrew on the flank. Mark not paying attention, and there he goes. Attempting to cook a frag grenade, and Kendrew just looking to kill some time. 15 seconds and no Nitro Cell down below. Foxe has a diffuser trying to pour in. Citizen trying to contest. He'll get 1, lining up for 2, but he can't handle the shot. Down to the 2v2, 7 seconds tick away. Saves trying to hold out onside. He's his last man standing. Laxing will cut him down. 2 pushing into the rafters, and Reciprocity push on through, securing the attack once again. And Na'Vi continue their losing ways on CCTV and Cash.
A little bit of luck sprinkled into that round, but hey, that's how Siege works out sometimes, baby. And it's gonna work out in Reciprocity's favor this time around. They take the lead for the first time in 8 rounds. That's insane. Well, actually, excuse me, the first time in 9 rounds. That is absolutely ridiculous. But Reciprocity showing up on Clubhouse, and now you see why they allowed it into the map pool. Some very unique takes here, especially on CCTV, prioritizing bottom floor instead of top in order to gain control with Buck. And Mark made good on that with that skeleton key, getting rid of the bandit, getting rid of 2 separate operators, one from a hot mark, and also a very nice angle into Catwalk. Just a little bit of a misplay there at the tail end by Na'Vi. I guess Bandit just assumed that no one would want to try and kill him inside of Lounge. They know you have a Nitro Cell, my friend. You're gonna be a priority.
Impact's coming out here for a gym bedroom defense. So Na'Vi continuing their cycle as well of never playing the same bomb site twice. That was a rarity, honestly, throughout this entire series and the series yesterday for Na'Vi. Just not looking to run things back. They want to correct their mistakes later on into the game and get back onto some winning territory. But if you're Reciprocity, you're feeling very good right now. You've already hit your quota. You got your 2 attacking rounds, 1 onto separate bomb sites as well. So troubles right now for Na'Vi on the defensive side of Clubhouse, and that's not something I anticipated saying heading into this game. I imagine we'd be seeing a 4-2 split in favor of Na'Vi, as we see so many times on Clubhouse for the defensive start. But Reciprocity, they're a step above right now. They're looking a lot better than they did earlier on, especially to start things off on Consulate, and the way they looked on Villa as well. This is a much better beginning to the map, and hopefully they can carry through the momentum. Before today, Na'Vi was a flawless 9-0 defending Gym Bedroom, but lost their first attempt in this game.
We could have probably told you that, to be completely honest. Their Gym Bedroom is very well set up. It's just that Reciprocity, again, just cutting off the proper heads of the nine-tailed snake there, or excuse me, 9-headed snake there, and ended up working out for them in the end. Na'Vi now, though, they're on a back foot. You need to bring things back. Don't let Reciprocity get too far out of grasp, because they've already hit their quota, Flynn. This is the maximum amount of regular rounds that you're supposed to have on offense. It's supposed to be a 2-4 split going to the defense. Reciprocity trying to prove everyone wrong right now.
Kendrew lining up this bullet hole to a windowsill, looking for the 1-tap for anyone outside, getting lackadaisical outside on the master balcony, peeking in. Now it took a little bit of damage there from Foxe as he peeked around the corner CC, and Na'Vi has gone back to the strategy that worked wonders for them yesterday against Wildcard, which was holding hard fast inside of CCTV and Cash, making sure you're reinforcing, using castle barricades. They got the Kaid Electro Claws as well, and you've got impacts to trick, and there goes Kendrew. The patience pays off. He finally gets that bullet hole kill to land, and there goes Mark, the instigator from last round.
Yeah, that's going to be a big pick as well. As you said, Mark, that instigator from last round. The skeleton key worked out very, very well, but they're not going to have access to it anymore. He's already made some holes above, though, so they could get some EMPs or what have you inside to be able to help this out. But obviously, you'd rather put those on the outside of the reinforcement. Looks like Reciprocity is pretty spread thin right now. They're trying to go for 2 walls at once, and this is the main issue on this site, that a lot of teams have continued to fall into this trap. which do you do first? Jacuzzi wall, or do you rotate across and try and handle cash? Reciprocity, the last time it was Jacuzzi, but this time they're allocating too many resources to too many things, and it's, again, spreading them thin. Laxing with the initial kill onto Pi, that was very weird in the instance in which he killed him. I don't exactly know where it was. Citizen to take down Fox, Skies trades it back. It's gonna be a quick move. Skies actually has control inside of logistics. This is the whole backbone of the site, and it's happening again. Retro claims one, all of a sudden we're in a 3v2. Do they know Citizen is still bandit tricking over near the wall though? They didn't even need to get it open. They have safe haven inside of construction. They need to get this plant down. It's in the hands of Skies. Retro hasn't had too hot of a hand today, but he's gonna need it now as Skies is halfway through this. Oh no, that's all they need. He goes for the pre-fire, they claim another. It's gonna be a 1v2. Citizen, my God, man. And now all they have to do is find the diffuser. Na'Vi, what a round.
Beautiful retake back into the bomb site there, and I mean, Reciprocity getting back in. That looked like it could have definitely gone their way, but two members stacking by the master bed and losing track of Nello in the chaos. Excellent work there from Nello through the flank, through construction, in tandem with Citizen, waiting it out, knowing that the plant was going down, the pings were abound everywhere, but playing the patience game, waiting to regroup and play the teamwork for the retake together instead of just trying to take it 1v2. Excellent work there for Na'Vi to be able to persevere onto Gym Bedroom. Cashhold works out and stalling out a lot of time against Reciprocity as well, investing a lot of resources and manpower over in towards CCTV and Cash. It's going to force us downstairs now for Na'Vi as they continue to cycle the rotation through bomb sites one after another. They were victorious last time around downstairs, and like I said, the patience pays off. Kendrew with that bullet hole lineup waiting for someone to walk in, and Skies, what a nice shot there dropping through the hatch. Honestly, looked a little awkward, but it works out nonetheless. Excellent entries so far for Reciprocity throughout the entire map of Clubhouse thus far. They haven't really slowed down on the entry kills ever since the beginning of Villa. Retro was almost immaculate on the entry kills on Villa as well. But now it's Na'Vi fighting back and trying to reclaim their advantage that they should have here on the defensive set of Club.
Well, Na'Vi gonna have to try and force this through for another 2 rounds. Otherwise, Reciprocity is gonna be on the winning end of things here on Clubhouse. That's just how the map goes. Back downstairs is where we will go, though, with relatively the same lineup, all except for Mozzie. Mozzie's coming out to play on round 5. And the last time that we saw Mozzie on this site in the hands of Na'Vi, it telegraphed a roam game that worked out extremely well. There was a lot of early picks, and Na'Vi won the round because of that. And it seems like they're going to try and attempt the exact same thing. Although Reciprocity will be coming in from Strip Club. This is going to be a full clear of Clubhouse. You can see Lax already has a drone in place. He's going to get it eaten up, though. So that should be able to tell him that, hey, more than likely there's somebody on this mid-level or top floor that's trying to stave off these drones in order to play aggressive.
You can see the kills coming through. So we talked about Skies in the first map of 23, or 21 for himself. Citizen with 23. Citizen leading the charge for his own team right now with 5, and it's Laxing right now actually stepping up. 7 kills so far through 4 rounds on Clubhouse. This is the decider map for the last semi-final. Winner of this map will move on to play Darts Hero in the grand finals after the operator reveal in just a couple hours. For the roam clear right now for Reciprocity, again, there's not a lot of resistance coming out from Na'Vi on the defense. They went upstairs, they played some utility, and they ran right on back downstairs to hold and bunker as they did last time. That triple reinforcement onto the church wall also seemed to catch Reciprocity off guard as Laxing had dropped into blue, and it looks like they've left the blue hatch soft, which is the one area that they left open to take that reinforcement and place it on the church wall facing blue. Seemed to catch them off guard, though. It didn't seem like they were well aware that there was no rotate into church from blue and that they wouldn't have the possibility of pushing on through with force in tandem with their moto player.
Well, Retro flirting with the hatch, just seeing if he could get Nello to throw an Electro Claw, but he won't bite. So now it seems like the rest of Reciprocity is actually going to remain alive this time around. Skies last time was Nitro Celled immediately when the hatch got open, and it didn't end up working out for them in the end. So now Reciprocity can focus their sights on the other hatches. Focusing up through the floorboards right now. Impact trick in a little bit of a different location than we regularly see. A little bit safer as well. And throwing an impact right up to the bottom of the table. Going to go off once again. They'll check the holes. The smart grip the flooring up just a little bit. And now they have kitchen hatch open, but only 40 seconds remain. Oh, they know exactly where this is. Mark's going to tag Manello up just a touch, but again, nothing to be fatal. It's only going to be about 25 HP. It's a skeleton key from range. It's not that damaging unless you're practically on top of someone. Drones pouring in now as they're trying to find some more information. Need to get rid of this camera, but Fox can't find it through the metal bars. We're going to drop down to Moto, so this is definitely going to be a church take as Mark tries to cut off rotations, but no, Skies just pours in. What's happening? Oh no, Nello goes down, but it's going to be a trade as Saves is inside of Mud Tunnel. Oh my god, the diffuser's now down. Reciprocity, what are you guys doing? They're going to have to try and throw everything out of the wave, but no, Na'Vi comes crashing down, and the defense crushes the offensive opposition.
Trying to go for an armory plant there, going for the drop through kitchen hatch. They're just never able to push Nello out of his position, and it wasn't even Nello who got the kill. He ultimately died, but the peek from Saves there as well while they're all preoccupied with one another. That drops the diffuser on the ground deep inside of Arsenal with only really Mark up above to drop down and try and recollect. Everyone else for Reciprocity pushing from individual angles, and they're so cut off from the rest of their teammates trying to go for the plant execute there. And they did not win their gunfights when pushing in, frantically trying to retrieve that diffuser. For Reciprocity now, they now stand at a 3-2 deficit. You're not looking upset at all, really, at the turn of events right now. Still have your 2 attacking rounds. The difference will be this round here. If CCTV in cash will be defensible for Na'Vi, that is the question that rang through our minds and out through our microphones all day yesterday for Clubhouse between Na'Vi and Wildcard. They've had so much trouble keeping their ACOG player in Rafters alive. There's been so much utility dumped into clearing him out, and there's no Capital with the availability of the attackers either. This is a Capital-less garage take that's been repeatedly so successful against Na'Vi. They lose that lower garage player, Nello on the Kaid, the last time they defended this early from Mark, and then that bottom control never got retaken until way late into the round by Kendrew. They have to be able to support Pi inside of the garage. They cannot let him linger and die alone there. He may have an ACOG, he may have some yokais, but you got to give him some support, as that's one of your most crucial pivot points in the entire bomb site.
Exactly, you can't allow that man to be on an island because it's such a crucial point of this site. If you give up garage, you're practically asking them to plant. There's no real other way to stop it unless you can possibly get somebody down into logistics, or excuse me, down into lounge in order to nitro cell, shoot through the floor or what have you to stop the default plant. Because that's really the only place that you're going to plant on CCTV. Nowhere else is really safe. There's nothing by the window. You can't run up to the actual walls on the opposite end of the server stack. There's nothing really to be had for you. Reciprocity now, though, trying to equalize here on their offensive side, which again, if they end up winning this out, this is huge for them. And this is more than likely going to tell you how that they're going to win this map. It's all going to start on this offensive side. Equalization's a huge deal here. Drones now pouring into the CCTV window. They need some information on what they can possibly do. They know that there's still a bandit here with the likes of Kendrew Citizen going to be on the Jaeger. Those ADSs going to be a huge deal in this round in order to stave off any throwables from killing that bandit.
Crucial to push him out, and Kendrew's still on top of a desk right now, and again, unable to stop the wall. The frag grenades come in after burning out the ADSs, and it forces Kendrew to move, anticipating a frag grenade coming. So the wall gets opened up with ease once again for Reciprocity, and now the concern is Pi inside of the garage. Can you keep him alive? Looks like he just vaulted off of the rafters, so 2 members for Na'Vi will now play lower garage instead of playing that rafters control with the ACOG.
Well, rest of Na'Vi now locked inside of sight and ready to do battle. Reciprocity getting the rest of the wall open for themselves, actually opening up another angle in towards garage. So I like the setup that they're doing. They have Skies with the diffuser to plant at a later date. Now they've opened up the single panel that's been placed. Some feats get seen on Catwalk, and it's going to be the bandit, actually, Kendrew playing in there. Usually you're going to see an ACOG, but not this time around. Obviously, we don't have a Maestro. That's usually what you see played in there, and he's been banned out for the time being. Round 6 so far, been easy goings. Kendra again lit up inside of Garage, but Kendra's gonna make good, and Skies gets the kill, but it's gonna be immediately traded out. 42 seconds remain. That means the diffuser's down as well because Skies has faltered. They need to pick it up. They need to rotate back upstairs. They need to get this locked in to extend this time. Na'Vi almost out of utility to be able to stop them from doing such. They do still have the yokai drones of Pi, but they have to act quickly in order to be able to dispatch everything. It's going to be on Fox as well. This might be a very, very big misplay if this yokai is able to stop them. Another Toxic Babe pours in. Is it going to do the damage that they need? No, it's not. Citizen's getting ready to hop out. Did anybody hear it? It looks like they're ready for it, but he's going to get stopped by one yokai. He has them all in place. Here comes another. Somebody needs to stop it. Laxing stops one. They're going to stop him again. Oh, and they get the yokai. That's a huge deal. They have to go for the lead avenue instead of the utility! Bye! Oh no! Reciprocity, what are you doing?
Nobody playing after a window, and the men on rappel could not act fast enough to shut down the 3 armor bursting through the visibility of the breach. And Pi, the individual savior there for Na'Vi on the round. Looks like there's going to be a timeout coming out from Reciprocity, but like I said, 4-2 half for Rec. They get the 2 attacking rounds that they needed. They get one early. They knew they had room to play with. There's no real worry to panic here for Rec. All you got to do is play your game. For Na'Vi, though, you're 3 rounds away from the grand final. You should be getting 2 attacking rounds here. Can you push it to 3 and send us to the grand finals in regulation, or are we going to require overtime on this one?
That's the real question. This is very, very scary because Na'Vi looked this exact same way yesterday in the wildcard game. Lose first map, extremely dominant to the exact same scoreline on the next map, and then they go to Clubhouse and they have an absolute brawl. But this time around, Na'Vi is seeming a lot more dominant, and yeah, Reciprocity, this might be a big issue. We know them as a very emotional team, and to have a completely botched plant there when that should have been in every single right, a confirmed plant, could be a huge, huge deal that goes into this defensive side. So a good time for Hopes to take a timeout, talk to everybody and be like, hey, it happens. That's the game of Siege. Move on from it. We still have a game to win. That one round does not mean everything if we win this map.
Well, I mean, for Rec there, everything's going your way. It's just a fantastic individual play from Pi.
Did they have anybody on balcony? I thought they did.
Yeah, they did. They had someone on rappel, and they showed the replay of it. The Thermite, I believe it was Retro, shot about half a second after Pi got the kill. So again, just
a little bit faster.
A game of milliseconds, man. Plant going into the overtime there, and they had a beautiful clear again into Garage, taking care of the members holding inside of rafters, and then Kendra dropping low. Like, Kendra gets one, but he gets immediately traded out. They have the rafters control they need. They did have to scramble a little bit there and take a lot of time to go get the diffuser after Skies was killed, but they had ample time. That yokai drone was taken out. They still had time to plant. It's just Pi being the hero today. 3 rounds away now for Na'Vi to send themselves with a date with Dark Zero in the grand finals on here on Championship Sunday in Tokoname. Reciprocity by no means out of the fight, though. They are now heading to the defensive side on Club.
Yeah, and Doki, we know you're at home watching this game right now. First of all, hello, friend. Hope that you're good in health and everything else, but you got to be proud of the boys so far. It's been so impressive, especially from Pi. I mean, this is a guy that they just plucked out of obscurity. He'd obviously played comp before, but nothing up to this caliber. And at LAN, this man is making magic happen. He might not be doing it on the scoreboard, but he's doing it in those impactful frags and those impactful plays that have been so needed here on both Consulate as well as Clubhouse. Well, moving into round 7 now, Citizen has shifted his sights over to Jackal. We didn't see him play that too often in the previous 2 maps. We saw him pick it up a couple of times, but nothing to call home about. We're going to have a Pulse that's going to be handled by Mark, so that definitely telegraphs that, hey, there's a Nitro Cell on the field. We have to worry about them knowing our presence at all times, and that's how you should handle Pulse. He can obviously see you through walls, so you have to be aware of his presence. You have to be aware that more than likely they understand your location.
I do like the change up here for Citizen round or game to game between the 2 days. Yesterday he was just trying to go for those quick, swift entries alone. No drone really. You know, he played some knock and tried to run down the main stairs while attacking towards the basement. Today, he just kind of recoiled that a little bit and brought it back to a sense of normalcy here with the Jackal play. Just tracking out a couple of the Yankers left on site. Obviously, roaming on this map when a Jackal's in play is even harder than roaming on the map when there's no Jackal in play. It's a very challenging task to be able to accomplish. It does look like Saves, though, has some kill holes opened up to the berth of that double church door, watching for anyone peeking the hallway to give Pi clean access down the main stairs and potentially start breaching open the bottom of this church wall. Wooden barricades taken asunder now as everyone progressing further and further for Na'Vi. Deceptively quick round as it's been 2 minutes burned. Kendra carrying the diffuser close on the Moto door, taking care of some barbed wire. Haven't done a whole lot in terms of opening up hatches, but at the very least, you do have Citizen pushing down blue in tandem with the Moto push, so the pinch from both sides here for Na'Vi in a good position to take advantage.
Well, the rest of the squad now poised to take control of Church. Church wall bursts open. They have to be ready for someone to get aggressive into Moto. Drones now pouring in. Should more than likely recognize out the Legion. A lot of prone angles being held from Reciprocity. Does not allow for very good movement. Kendra's going to pour a stun in. He goes for another. Impacts are actually going to match him. Citizen's going for another play across, though. Kendra's going to get the first kill. Citizen tags on as well as Nello. It's the Na'Vi show. It needs to be shut down or Reciprocity might be going home. Oh, no. Oh my! Flawless round to start the offensive side. And does that tell the tale of Reciprocity? An emotional round shuts them down and they can't battle back when it matters.
Good news is, though, for Reciprocity, you won the first attacking round, and then you still lost the half 4-2 to Na'Vi. So you can look back on that, draw back on experience, and know that you're still a team that can battle. And especially being down 4-0 on Consulate to start off on map number 1, which feels like ages ago now. They then ran back 4 in a row of their own. Reciprocity still plenty of opportunities to get back into the game, but Na'Vi continue to inch closer and closer to that finish line. Looking incredibly strong here on the attacking portion as well. This is a bomb site they could not attack to save their life until overtime, where they broke the trend of them being constant successful defenses towards the basement. Pi wraps everything up with a nice double kill at the bottom of the main stairs. And like you said, hasn't been showing up in the CGG, hasn't been showing up on the kill sheet over and over and over again, but he's gotten these clutch kills. The clutch factor from Pi right now. He's setting himself apart from some of his teammates right now on Na'Vi, and the whole team is clicking.
It's just a rough ship for Reciprocity. They need to course correct right now. This is where it all matters. They're 1 round away from being able to confirm an overtime, and that's when things get dicey. You can't make a misstep. There is nothing that you can possibly do except win. You have to win every single round in a row to force that OT. Now, when you get to this instance, the mentality is let's get as close to that as possible before something bad happens. Because again, this is Rainbow Six. You can't account for not having mistakes. It's going to happen. You just have to try and play perfect siege up until that point where you make that misstep. And hopefully at that point, you're at 5-5.
Big shock here, Reciprocity still playing 5 on site. They abandoned the Jackal though, and Citizen's gonna go back to his record-breaking ways with the IQ. The 5.52 Commando in his hands with a holographic sight. Understandable, seeing as Citizen kind of wants to put this game in a body bag. Reciprocity going for some roll swaps abound. Laxing going to the Echo. Fox 8 back on the Kai, but we get Skies now on to the Vigil, Mark on the Pulse, and Retro to the Jaeger. So many different operators being brought than what we were seeing from Na'Vi, specifically on their defense. Pre-fires from Saves down below, waiting for that Pulse to come out. Cardiac sensor will detect him inside of the freezer, and I'm sure they've got a Nitro cell ready and waiting. Either that or they're going to wait for more people to coalesce inside of the kitchen and try and pick up 2 for free.
Sensor deployed.
Reciprocity playing a pulse downstairs. Nitro Cell coming out, not going to claim any lives and no damage. Skies is also going to be on the vigil, so obviously that signifies that a roam game could possibly happen or flanks could come through. Na'Vi spread out across the entire mid floor, handling bar hatch as well as kitchen, but bar isn't even open just yet. It seems like they have everything they could possibly want. They're shifting their sights over towards Mud Tunnel, which we do have a member of Reciprocity inside of. Pi working his way down to the bottom of main stairs. We do have someone inside of Moto as well. I believe that's actually Skies that will be playing inside. Some stun grenades now pouring in over the church wall. Oh, this could be very bad if they're not going to be able to drone him out. The hatch is still locked down. I don't believe that they even have an option. They still have the X-Kairos, which is very, very weird. They haven't even gone for the hatch. I guess that they think that they don't need it, but that's going to make safe harbor for Skies inside. A very long angle allocated for Reciprocity takes Citizen extremely low, and now Skies could play devil's advocate inside of Moto. Na'Vi needs to go now. Oh, that's going to be the kill he needs. Shut him down. Get rid of the X-Kairos pellets. He's going to stop a multitude of them, but not enough. Pies is starting to put a diffuser down, but it immediately gets stunted in growth. Citizen saves. You got to do something. Reciprocity's trying to fight back. Hot marks come through by the dead members of Na'Vi. Can they help him from the grave? Can he get two? He does, but now it's going to be down to a 1 versus 3. Skies on very low HP. Only 15 seconds to make it happen. They just have to play safe. The diffuser's all the way across inside of Narnia. Confirms another kill. Pad those CGG stats. They've already rotated upstairs, and it's going to wrap it up with a nice little bow. Na'Vi finally getting shut down.
Lacking of drones and not opening up hatches. What the hell's going on here, Na'Vi? It's a very default take to open up hatches to push downstairs, and yet Na'Vi foregoing regularity to try and barrage their way in through the soft wall downstairs into Armory from the bottom of main. Going back upstairs now will be Reciprocity on the defense to head to CCTV and Cache, the site that they probably don't want to remember all that well, but nice shot there and a nice angle from in behind the blue boxes for Foxe, and Laxing inside of dirt, shutting down a possible flank there from Nello. Just discombobulation abound here for Na'Vi in terms of that attacking round there. That was not, honestly, the most clinically round taken, and I don't really understand not getting rid of the Kaid charge on the hatch and blowing it open, getting a drone in towards Moto. You just got to check your backside and make sure that you're safe. The rush in through the Armory wall, that's a well-patented strat. It's been around for a very long time, but you got to cover your basics to pull it off, or else Skies is going to pull something like that and make you pay for it.
If you guys are relatively new to the game of Rainbow Six Siege, and specifically our esport, first of all, welcome. Second of all, Na'Vi is not a very long-standing team. This team got picked up by Na'Vi 163 days ago, Flynn, and that's right around the exact same time that they entered Pro League. This team pulls what we now refer to as an empire. Their rookie season, run it up to the top of the scoreboard in Pro League, finish first, and then come to land for blood, and to more than likely stave off every single North American's hope for their region to finally win a LAN that has a major title attached to it since year 1, season 3. If you guys didn't know, that was 1,092 days ago. 1,092. That's how long that stands. You probably feel like a Cubs fan at this point. Took 107 years for that. 1,092, not nearly that bad, but it feels like it when the eSport's only 4 years old.
Citizen missing someone cross directly in front of his view, as he'll confirm that now with the Jackal tracks with the red hot footsteps. That's the Valkyrie springing back upstairs of Laxing, playing inside a strip momentarily. This is a CCTV Cache defense, but a lot of roaming presence sent towards the strip side of the map, over towards gym and bedroom as well as a lot of roam clear coming out from Na'Vi towards that far side. And maybe they think the correction to their woes in terms of attacking this bomb site from yesterday was that they just needed to convert for a construction push, but saves now, double impact. There goes Mark sky high on the attempted bandit trick. That was in the VOD from yesterday. I'm not sure why that was attempted the way it was, but hey, it's how she goes. Breach coming out downstairs now into the back of the soft wall, and Skies looking to shoot on through. Instead, he'll just take the X-Kairos with him and dart on back into safety underneath the garage stairs.
It's going to take enough away to make it to where there's no rotate that can possibly happen. Citizen finds another kill on the other end of the map, and Na'Vi is starting to heat back up. It doesn't seem like this is going to stave them off. They really don't care that you took a round. They want the whole thing. My God, saves. What an angle. Doesn't even need any info for it. A nice pre-fire through the lounge wall, and Reciprocity has been knocked cleanly off their feet. Retro and Fox have to stop the bleeding. They need to win this round, otherwise Na'Vi are looking at going to the finals.
All comes down to Retro and Fox here in a 2v5 to lock down site. They're burning all their available utility just to repel the ingress coming from Na'Vi. Fast and furious they will be, but Retro will shut it down in its tracks on the cash stairs from Saves. Plant going down from Kendrew and nothing to impede its process. No Nitro Cell, no Toxic Canister, and now we stand in the post play, but there goes the Nitro from Foxe. A little late now as Nello collects the kill onto Retro. It's Foxe alone now in the bottom of the garage, constantly pinged out. Pi will double tap him there with the bearing. 1 round away will be Na'Vi. They're staring down the barrel of a date with Dark Zero.
Is it going to happen again? Is Europe going to be the deciding factor if NA can make something happen at LAN in a Pro League final, in a major? It seems like this is how it always goes. It's always EU versus NA when it comes down to the end of the day. It's a tale as old as time, and Na'Vi seems like they have a date with destiny. Reciprocity has to link 3 rounds in a row, and it starts right here, right now on Gym Bedroom.
Retro going to 6-pick off of the castle for the Gym Bedroom defense as well. Weird. To an Echo. Citizen going back to the Jackal, and we saw that double impact kill yesterday. This, however, from Saves. Now, call it calculated, call it luck, call it what you will. Gives his team the 3-man advantage at the end of the day, and you take those 4 rounds like this. Unfortunate circumstance there for a lot of those members of Reciprocity getting caught out in weird situations. Yeah, that Nitro Cell just a little bit late there for Foxe. He tried to go for the rotation down through the construction hatch, down to stage to stop the plant. Even if he had done so, that would have left Retro alone on the site, and eventually when he came for the swing, he died. It probably still would have ended up in the same situation, just with plant going down a little bit later, but you never know. Maybe some miracle work could have happened there if the Nitro was a little bit faster, but ifs and buts. All the hypotheticals won't save you from losing this game if you're Reciprocity right now. 3-round disadvantage, like you said. They got to put 3 in a row just to force OT. The good news is, though, for Reciprocity is that Na'Vi started on defense. They chose to start on defense, which means that Reciprocity most likely, again, would have started to shoot or chose to start on defense in overtime should they get to that point.
And the thing that I'm thinking about right now is just Nello telling us that earlier, hey, we lost the first map, it really doesn't matter, we're going to win the game. They might have won the battle, but we're going to win the war, and that seems to be the mentality of Na'Vi. And remember, guys, what I just told you, they've only been with this org, only been in Pro League for 163 days. These are rookie players that we're talking about, every single one of them. None of them ever in Pro League before this season. They come in, they dominate, and they're looking to win the entire LAN. They have to go through Reciprocity first, and then they have to beat Dark Zero. 2 NA teams versus 1 Na'Vi, and Na'Vi could do exactly what Empire did. Walk in, clean house, and take a LAN victory and a beautiful trophy home. Match point now for Na'Vi. Plenty of utility still on the board in the likes of Nello's hands. Breaking open in the weights window, and again, every single one of these rounds has the utmost weight for Reciprocity. You can feel it in your loins, folks. Citizen now clearing out the mid-floor, no roam game going to be allocated for Reciprocity. Just going to be a horizontal hold all the way over to construction.
Successful in getting open the jacuzzi wall there. Some quick shots there from Retro just to intimidate Saves, but right now for Na'Vi, no investment into clearing out towards cash. It's just Pi right now holding the flank and holding the server window. They've done their job. They just need to collect a little more intel to be able to push into the bomb site swiftly. Make sure they collect the first opening kill. It's been one of the most devastating things about this match has been the openers. Oh, a beautiful shot there as I say it. Retro would take down Nello. Reciprocity trying to persevere as Kendrew's now down. Mark takes down Citizen. All of Reciprocity come pouring on through to collect the frags. And Na'Vi look like they're going to need another round here to try and secure this, as Saves will try and regroup, pick up Kendrew. Pie still holding on the far side of the map, contesting with Laxing inside of Cash. Like I said, no utility being spent to try and collect the round over towards Cash. They all invest themselves under the jacuzzi wall, and now Pie will have to break his way over to join the rest of the team. Kendra carrying the diffuser on 20 HP with 24 seconds remaining. Ping's coming out downstairs as Saves tries to cut off a potential Nitro cell, but there goes Laxing. Saves on a trade onto Fox A to eliminate the possibility of a flawless round here, but both of them so low on HP. Carrying the diffuser is Kendra, still upstairs on the balcony. Save separates from him, trying to rip up the main stairs for some quick kills. Darting in through the jacuzzi balcony, but there goes Mark to shut it down. Reciprocity survive once again.
We're gonna have to keep it going, Flynn. 2 more rounds. You can't get complacent. That's something we've been talking about so long inside of the NA region, inside of play and everything else. They think that they just deserve it. But Reciprocity has to fight. Dark Zero in the same battle. They've been doing this for so long with no reward. It always seems like they stop right at the brink of success, and they always falter. Reciprocity needs to battle back. They're getting so very close. CCTV room, Cash, going to be the next site. And this is where they had trouble, Flynn. Na'Vi was able to get a successful diffuser down, and Reciprocity could not do a single thing to stop it.
It's worrisome here for Reciprocity. Instead of electing to go downstairs, going to go to CCTV and Cash. And 6-4 score line. It gets closer and closer. Citizen, instead of 6-picking off of the Nomad, he's actually going to take it. With the amount of roaming that was happening on the far side for Reciprocity, I imagine the Nomad will do them well. Try and quell any potential flanks back through construction or outside windows. Aggression is the name of Reciprocity's game, and unfortunately right now that hasn't paid off all that well for them throughout this matchup, throughout this entire series, really. It wasn't until they really turned on the burners on Consulate together as a team instead of individual aggression that they started to pick up some rounds. Villa, there was not really a whole lot of success for Reciprocity as a whole. Now here on Club, they've traded blows back and forth, but they've let the game slip away from them momentarily. Still within reach here on the defense. They just have to be flawless on a complete rotation.
It's going to be very, very difficult. Reciprocity on this site the last time, again, just did not have the best success. Na'Vi really just walked all over them. Were able to get garage access very early on, made some nice plays from stock as well as inside of lounge, and they didn't have an answer for it. No late rotates, no nothing. Reciprocity did try to go for a fight or flight mode at the very end with Fox A bailing out, going down to lounge and going for a very late nitro cell, but it didn't work out. The plan had already been secured, and therefore the round had been secured in the process. Citizen shifting his sights over to a different operator once again. He's going to be rocking the Nomad, and he's already allocated every single air jab to the balcony. He knows Reciprocity is going to try anything and everything to make this round successful, so he wants to be able to shut that down.
The one trouble with that is Laxing on the Valkyrie. He was laying prone at that master window on cams. I don't know if he has a Valkyrie camera downstairs. Here we go again with the wall, but there's no bandit, so they're not going to get the opener from Saves with the double impact, but I'm sure they'll invest the utility just to be safe, and yeah, they will. Stun is actually going to bounce straight back at him, but there's nothing to stop the wall, so it gets opened up regardless of the mistake. More drones will fly on into the bomb site as they have to worry about Fox A's Mozzie play as well. Not wanting to sacrifice utility to go the opposite way to the other team. No IQ though to spot out these yokai drones, but Skies will take a handful of damage now off screen in a contesting Nello out on the balcony. So that's Skies, the Rafters player, stuck on about 20 HP now.
Oh my God, Mark! Nello, good night, my friend. That's a NA special right there. Picks him all the way out in the balcony. You're not even supposed to do that, but who cares when you have that much skill? Na'Vi getting a little wobbly here, taking a little bit more time than we've traditionally seen them take throughout Clubhouse so far, and that could be telegraphing the success for Reciprocity inside of this round. Pie's gonna get tagged up running outside, but he's gonna be on 1 HP. He has not been downed as the rest of the Na'Vi roster is trying to find some success throughout the map. It's gonna be an impact to take down Skies. Very well placed, and now they have garage control. Natus Vincere, this is your time. Walk in, get this diffuser planted, and claim your victory. victory. Kendrew, no, you're gonna go down outside. That's a diffuser. That's huge from Reciprocity. Mark can try and stave them off along with Retro with this utility usage. There's already been a rotate down low as well by Fox. Sage is inside. Getting win out the third fight though. He's already got a double on the round. They're rotating for the diffuser. This late flank could be everything that they need. Pre-fire's coming through, but it's not gonna matter. Retro shoves him down. Oh no, Pie's got the diffuser. He's got very low HP. Retro, no, it's gonna be Fox. Oh, he rotates in. He can't win it out. Retro with a double. Only 2 seconds, and no, Reciprocity continue on. They need one more round to force this OT.
Excellent battle there from inside of the site for Reciprocity. Able to quell once again, and the challenging onto the balcony. Aggressive stance being taken from Rec. And that's going to force attack timeout from Na'Vi. They've been 1 round away from securing their spot in the grand finals for a few rounds now, and they've let that slip away. We're 1 round away from extra frames here on map 3, of course. Why would it go any other way? But Na'Vi need a minute to recollect themselves, discuss amongst themselves about how they want to take this last attacking round in regulation. They'll also be on the attack to start things off, most likely to start overtime. The crowd gets back into it here, feeding energy to the teams they would like to win. Again, I'm pretty sure it's split. Na'Vi gets the left side of the building up. Rec is really cheering, or getting a lot of the cheers from the right side of the building. This is nice to see, an even split in the crowd, trying to give both of their favorite teams an opportunity to win with a little bit of reinforcement from crowd volume.
And both of these teams have been fantastic so far. Na'Vi's been lights out. Reciprocity starting to battle back. This is what we wanted from this roster. They're playing so tight-knit now, Flynn. It seems like they just needed that extra push to go, hey, it's do or die now. You cannot lose a round. Successful CCTV, successful gym bedroom, successful defensive half so far. They've only got to make it happen one more time. And it seems like the battleground is going to be Church Arsenal.
Well, Na'Vi have already won this site once while attacking. We'll see if they can do it again. Citizen going to 6-pick over to the Jackal, and Mark going to 6-pick off of the Pulse over to Elysian. So some more intel and some more slowing. Last time around that Na'Vi attacked this site, though, they skipped a crucial step, which was open the Moto hatch and don't give Skies free reign as a Vigil to sit there and shut down your potential rush into Armory. Skies no longer on the Vigil, going back to the smoke here as Reciprocity returning to normalcy in terms of their operators. Getting back on even footing, try and lock this up, push it into overtime, then they might even have the advantage starting on the defense in OT. The Jackal has been pretty good at tracking many players on the defensive side, but those tracks haven't led to many kills. There's only a couple areas in the map that are destructible from the top. Notably this kitchen floor here into Armory. Outside of that, you've got a lot of safe spots you can play downstairs even while being Jackal tracked as a defender. So there's not too much to stress about on the side of Reciprocity. The weaponry though, Citizen, still that top fragger in the entire series right now, and he's gonna need to show out here to try and clutch up one more round for Na'Vi to try and take it.
And it's so very close right now. It's on a knife's edge. Again, you can feel it in your gut. Hearts pumping. Na'Vi need one more round in order to go to the finals. Again, spell disaster for North America's hopes in securing a win here. It's still going to be up in the air on if they can possibly do it. Again, been a very, very long time, and a long time coming. NA has been a little bit behind in Europe for quite a while, but they seem to have caught up in recent history. So that's always good. Always makes for very competitive games like this that we love to bring to you guys at home. Very fast clear here from Na'Vi and specifically Citizen as he just full sprints throughout the entire upstairs, recognizing out that there is no roam game coming in from Reciprocity. A lot of the Reciprocity operators are going to tell you that they are going to be on a turtle setup as they've actually shifted their sights downstairs.
So hopefully we got a Moto hatch being opened up here from Na'Vi. That'd probably be the best way to do this realistically, is you need to keep pushing in, trying to open up that church wall. Pie again having safety pushing down to the bottom of the main stairs with support from his kill holes upstairs in the kitchen floor, watching the birth of that double door into church. Sounds like that is the Moto hatch getting opened up now by Na'Vi. A little bit of barbed wire placed in the main hallway to watch for any potential rushes down the hall, trying to swarm into the bomb site. Citizen was a catalyst last time around, pushing in through blue down the main stairwell, looking for pre-fires into the bomb site, but they've reinforced one of the blue walls to make sure that they have a little bit of safety at both of their backsides, depending on where the shots are ringing off from. Got about a minute 10 here to work with here if you're Na'Vi on the attacking side, trying to push through. Church has always been the name for Na'Vi to push in through. They're worried about any potential tricks coming through, but none such will happen. The Church wall will get opened up, and pure pandemonium is about to ensue outside this wall.
Kairos down, Pi with the first kill here on the mark. Oh no, that's huge. Lesion off the board, no more Goog 9s can possibly be allocated. We are gonna have a man inside of blue as well. It's gonna be Citizen to win out this gunfight. Hot marks coming in, another set of Kairos pellets going down on black box. Kendra with the diffuser, you need to pay attention to him and see where the diffuser's going to go down. Toxic Babes pour in, they still have a camera for information. It's gonna be a quick shot as Foxay fires back. They're trying to shut down this take. Na'Vi's almost got everything they could possibly need in order to secure this. Does Citizen know that someone's laying into the left though? This could be all they need to push this to OT. Pi gets one, Pi gets another, that's a triple! Oh no, Yokai drone's rotating, he's gotta stop this plan, he stops one. Retro going to play devil's advocate, but he needs to do it again. They're rotating the Yokai drone, but it's not gonna be enough. Kendrew secures it, it's a 2 versus 3. He gets one Yokai in for information, but that's gonna be it. Reciprocity has to try and battle out from this. Laxing with the first kill knocks it down to the 2 versus 2. Retro with very low HP gets confirmed. Laxing, he's been on a heater all day, specifically on this map. He needs it now. He needs everything. Needs it to come to a point. Kendrew, Nello, can you push it to this final? Oh no, Lax, you're taking too much time. You have to take one of these gunfights. You have to pick one. They're both sitting inside of Moto. This timer's so dangerously low. He has to kill both of them so very quickly, but it doesn't matter. Na'Vi, they did not come to participate. They came to take over. Europe has birthed 2 Titans in 1 year.
Na'Vi to the grand final to challenge against North America's representative of Dark Zero. And it came down to the bitter end there for Reciprocity, but they lose out narrowly. 7-5 on Clubhouse. An EU-NA matchup is on the horizon. Na'Vi, can they complete the story that Empire began writing leading up to Milan? As Dev has said so many times, first in CL, first in PL, and now looking to be Pro League champions here in Tokoname. Reciprocity came within inches though, an 8-7 victory for Reciprocity on Consulate. Na'Vi strike back with a 7-1 victory on Villa. And it got dicey on map 3, but again on Clubhouse, Na'Vi needs the decider. They need Club, they start on defense, and their attacks were enough to push them over the edge. They take map number 3 by a scoreline of 7-5. For Na'Vi, you gotta feel good about your performance, and if you're Reciprocity, it'll sting for a minute, but it's still a much better performance than we saw yesterday from them, and a performance deserving of being here and saying that you are one of the best teams in all of North America and all of the world. Reciprocity put on one hell of a clinic today, and it was such a nail-biter down to the very bitter end.
Na'Vi, a fantastic showing for sure. Flynn, Reciprocity, you guys got to keep your heads held high. You made it all the way to the semifinals after kind of a botched match yesterday, but again, still worked out in their favor. The main thing I want to highlight here is just the nerve control by Natus Vincere. They start running it back. Reciprocity is coming right at you, and then all of a sudden you win out. But we got Matt on the stage. Matt, my friend, take it away.
My friends, thank you very much. We know that our grand final will now feature Na'Vi. And your weekends, and your season, and all of your dreams from I don't know how many months ago, it's just getting better and better and better for the black and yellow.
Yeah, it's a brilliant journey we've had. You know, coming from CL, winning Prem to now finals in in Japan, it's crazy.
You guys seem very at home on this, and I will be honest and say that as much as I love the UK, where I'm from, this stage is a little bit bigger than the UK Premiership that you won recently. But you seem to just be lapping this up.
Yeah, it was pretty hard getting used to the amount of fans, going from like roughly 200 to 4,000. Definitely took some nerves, but the crowd is amazing here, so it definitely gets rid of that.
And with you guys, you just seem to be able to make this work, get them on your side. They were supporting you in the quarters, they supported you again here. And we have this interesting moment to explore, that you go and lose a map on which Citizen is now the record holder for the most number of kills in a map. 23. That's a new record for Pro Leagues and Invitationals. And you're out of land doing it as well. Beats an online record too. Did you realize as you were doing it, or did one of your teammates mention it to you afterwards?
When I was about 17 kills up, I then realized like, wow, okay, I'm actually, there's like 7 rounds left, I can actually do this. I even said when I got to 20 that I'm breaking the record today, whether, we win or lose, so yeah.
And you lost the map. So, what happens in the final? You got Dark Zero.
I'm gonna drop 23 kills again. And win. And win.
Well, look, there it is. Citizen, take a good look. That is the title there. That trophy there. That goes to the champion of Pro League Season 10. And you guys have come up and up and up and up. I think I asked yesterday, are you the new Empire to some people? Are you the new Empire?
No, we're the Na'Vi.
They're the Na'Vi, and they are our grand finalists. Congrats to Citizen. Congrats, Na'Vi.
Congratulations to Na'Vi.